Hello, hello. We're playing dwarves today. Boom. Gotta learn how to play them. Strong counter pick in a lot of tournaments. Do not shame your ancestors. I'm so ready. Oh, I'm so ready. It was gonna be great. Obese Chicken, what's up? Dionysian, Chosen of Zinch. It's gonna be a chill day. Thinking some Malachi action. Definitely gonna take Giant Slayers. Cannons, faux show. There'll be a solid faction to have. Though, if I get hard counted today, we're just screwed. So we'll see. We will see. Let's just give people one last quick second before we start the tournament. And then hopefully today's just a nice chill day. I'm just going to do a quick tournament and then call it. And then tomorrow's my day off because we streamed over the weekend. Nice and chill. Holidays are coming. Gotta enjoy it. Goblins. Round one. Go. Up against Abdel. Razak. Razak? Yeah. Yo, yo. Let's do it. Surely they don't tune into the stream and realize that I am playing dwarves. What if I play dwarves and Nurgle today, though? Wouldn't that be like the megaest debate? Does Nurgle counter the factions that beat dwarves? Should I coin flip it? Impressive performance in the final qualifiers. Thank you. I think Warriors of Chaos and Norska are both insanely strong right now. What was the verdict on the Oceanids meta? Oh boy, they're bad. They're bad. They're not a hard carry unit, even in the best of circumstances. Though I still want to see how they do versus Khorne. They might be not terrible there. So what's the map? We do map picks and bans, alright. Quarrelers. Yo. Malachi Quarrelers? Can't wait. Yeah, let's see what he picks up. Sounds about right, yeah. You can't use missiles to save him. Oh, geez, Slanesh. Oh my goodness. Borowski. Starting off against Slanesh. I'll ban, ban Imperial Ambush. Map's a little too big. Alright, so Slanesh is... They can be pretty annoying, right? They got a lot of stuff going for them, but dwarves are amazing. They have, I don't know. Oh, jeez. How do I not die to like a million demonuts? Didn't my Thorgrim box beat Khorne? What if I Thorgrim box Slanesh? That seems not terrible. I can use Unkillable on a Slayer blob. I think CA's gonna buff Praeton and Oceanids. Praeton maybe, Oceanids I don't think so. If a unit is just slightly bad, CA doesn't usually do much for him. I don't even know if they're gonna do big multiplayer patches for a while. Aren't you gonna scare everyone with gyrocopters again? Should I just gyro Slanesh? Rapturous Expanse. Alright, not a terrible map. I could gyro spam Slanesh. Unfortunately, they can land. You know what can't land, though? The Thunder Barge. What if he takes a Praeton, though? What if he Praetons me? I think Thunder Barge is way too risky. Let's see here. Okay, so obviously we need Giant Slayers. Tabal. What's up? Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. If he takes a Praeton, what if it's actually good versus dwarves? That would be mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. Okay, so this is pretty good ability. This is a pretty good ability. You like a very slow amount of balance updates, that way players can figure out counters. I think if they're not rapid, I do want them to like actually shake up the meta a bit. Get like some big changes to some factions, you know? Otherwise we end up with the same top factions. Especially now, if the Dreadmaw ends up being super strong, we might just have a Dreadmaw meta for like a year, right? Gotta be careful. You love the Praeton? Maybe one day. But today is not the day. Buff Nurgle. Ripped Nurgle. Buff Skaven. They did buff Skaven. Skaven actually having cheaper Storm Vermin is actually a huge game changer. I am genuinely quite excited for that. Yo, what if he runs Devotees? Yo, there's actually a lot that he could take here that would kind of be scary. Could armor spam me? That's pretty annoying. There's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, dwarves are such a strange faction, aren't they? Very strange faction. Very difficult faction to actually pilot properly. But I think they have a lot of teeth. What else do I want here? What else do I want? Build looks okay. I think if I just do... If I just do this? What if I just get Iron Breakers? Get some Norgrimling's Iron Breakers to get rear charged by Pleasure Seekers? Honestly, Pleasure Seekers are going to be a problem. Pleasure Seekers really, really change things up for us. Make life a lot harder. Single Devotee to force me forwards. I got too many shields for that, man. Dwarves are made out of shields. They'll be fine. Yeah, I think I almost just want to do this. It's so strange, but I believe this is actually fairly good. This feels fairly decent. Is there anything else I want? What a janky build. What a mega janky build. Alright, you know what? Let's just, Sure. Sure, why not? This is the fastest faction versus the slowest faction. Can we shenanigans our way to victory here? Gonna boost the dwarven win rate so people think they're in a good place? We'll see. If I get dumpstered by Slaanesh, I don't think that's happening. Though, dwarves are tricky, man. If you don't have the right build for them, they can really mess you up. What? There's no embark penalty in campaign? For who? Vampire counts? What are the worst factions at the moment? Not sure. Skaven has been lifted. I think Tomb Kings are going to have a rough time, though. With everyone being stronger against undead generally. dwarves with halberds. I think great weapon dwarves are close enough. They don't have the bonus versus large, but look, if you just said Slayer great weapons, instead of calling them Slayer great weapons, you called them Slayer halberds, gave them the same stats, like literally the same stats. Then you have your halberd unit, right? Now they're kind of expensive, but like Slayer great weapons are an armor piercing, anti-large infantry unit that is effectively a halberd for the low price of 1,200. But hey, Dark Elves have Blackguard of Nagorond as their first halberd unit, so no complaining. You want a Dwarven Spear unit? Take normal Slayers. There's your Spear unit. Yeah, I really wonder if no armor though. Hey, halberds don't need armor. All right, Empire already has armorless halberds. But yeah, I think Skaven are probably in a much better place than before. Storm Vermin being cheaper mixes things up a lot. This is the cheapest Storm Vermin have ever been, right? Have the halberd variants always been 1,000 gold and then they got nerfed? Or were they 900 gold way back in the day? I do wonder. But alright, here's the plan. Here's the plan. We're playing dwarves. So the solution is to cheese. Oh, look at this guy. He's just holding the flag right on their face. Nice. Boom. So look at this. Look at it. Alright. I got Slayers for days. And then I got these guys. So they are my sneaky boys. If I can just pull off one good ambush, we've won it. Alright, that's it's as simple as that. We have a melee attack reduction of 40 for 50 seconds. We can make all my Slayers unable to die for 40 seconds. It's all great. It's all great. In theory, it should be very hard to take a fight against us. Lots more Slayers. Even some Gyrocopters if they don't have the right magic. This is definitely... This is a build that's just trying to high roll my opponent. Now they do have Slongors. Devotees of Slanesh. Bro, they're not going to kill Slayers. The mask, though, is slightly problematic. But I think with this big old ship here, I think we don't have to worry too much. I'm noticing a severe lack of anti-air. I'm sure Furies will be summoned, but the Thunder Barge will absolutely cook. All I really gotta do is summon some Gyrocopters here. And I think we're fine. This Thunder Barge is gonna do amazing, man. It's gonna do so well. We just gotta hold this location. Couple devotees. Like, my air spam build beats high elf archers. There's no way a couple of devotees are gonna take down a whole Thunder Barge, right? Actually impossible. So I'm just gonna go ham and summon yet another one of these. We can get some bombing runs on these guys. The weakness is they're severely low ammunition. So if I can actually bait a few shots, that makes a huge difference. Whoop. Oh, whoa. Get dodged, son. Get dodged. Yo, each one of these volleys is so important for them. Without these, without the ammunition, he's super screwed. Now, there's the Praeton. Praeton has arrived. There it is. All right, so what are you planning on? Targeting my my Thunder Barge. See, this is actually just a sick build because it baits your opponent into taking a Praeton, which sucks. We're even gonna dodge with the Thunder Barge a bit. And boop. Oh, good dodge. Boop. You want to dodge this? Dodge this. All right, there we go. So they're absolutely annihilated. Very nice. Creighton is a non-issue. It's a very expensive group of guys to be losing. Thunderbar just has to stay away from a couple Furies. Then we're going to grab these guys. Focus fire that Creighton over there. And if the Thunderbarge survives, I think I'm happy. Gotta be a little careful with it though. My little dwarf Slayer here is massacring that little lady. Very nice. And will the Thunderbarge survive? That's the real question. The mask is taking a lot of damage. That's pretty fun. You know, these guys ain't too great. I can actually just use my Slayers here to kind of just bully them. Oh, we got more Furies. Run. Thunderbarge will live though. The mask is in trouble. Mask is suffering. Slayer is doing good. I'm gonna land these guys. Get them to safety. I'm gonna keep ignoring the Praeton a little bit. Can we save the Gyro Bombers? Oh, that's the real question. He has some Furies on my Slayers, alright. Can he stop the Slayer Tide though? It's quite menacing. One Gyro Bomber has survived the onslaught. Nice. Come on, guys. Can you... Oh, crap. I don't have Fire at Will on. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. There we go. One volley's going to get a lot of working. And then we're just going to shoot the mask. Boop. Wowza. That's some deeps. Mask did not like that in the slightest. They got booped. They got absolutely booped. Mask has never felt so weak. All right, nice. We have air supremacy and a capture point. Very nice. See, this is what I'm saying. This build baits your opponent into taking a hot garbage unit, and then you freaking win. And then it's over, man. That's all you gotta do. Get the Praeton bait. It's so good. All right, now my gyrocopters probably can't actually kill it, my gyro bombers. But they can definitely get some free bombing runs. It's just a Praeton, nobody cares. Oh yeah, I forgot these guys have anti-infantry. They're actually kind of killing my Slayers. A little annoying. Wee bit annoying. Praeton can barely hit this thing at least. Whoop. Run away! Run away! Woo, man, those Grim Delvers. Grim Delvers cook. Now, what do I want? I think I want the Brotherhood of Grimnir. Thunderbarge is doing fine. It's chilling. Praeton is a non-issue. Complete non-issue. Lord is doing fine. And yeah, it's Grim Delvin time. It's Grim Delvin time. Let's see here. Gotta avoid the Praeton. Yo, this is just 2,000 gold down the drain, man. There's just 2,000 gold that's not doing much at all. Oh, but he gets the net narcissism. Pretty faint. Pretty faint. That's gonna be rather painful then. So he takes out one of my gyrocopters. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I do have to actually start securing points, but that's what my other dudes will be for. Just have to be a little careful about these dudes. I will be able to capture a point though, so that'll be nice. Dang, okay, those devotees are actually so good in much worse at they're much worse at range. But in melee, they absolutely can cook. Gotta be a little careful about that. Gotta also be careful about this Thunderbarge. Can't afford to let it die. It still has so much value to get. I think I will need some Giant Slayers. Slaneshi late game is much better than our late game. Very important to note. Okay, there we go. There's some Giant Slayers. Slayer Pirates are going to be chilling. What are we looking at? Oh! Oh, and the Lord's dead. Looks like the Thunderbarge is still barely alive, though. Whoop. Come on, shoot the Furies. Shoot her. Shoot him up. Oh, and the Thunderbarge is down. Alright, we got Thunder Barge down, boys. Lord is dead. Not the prettiest of situations. I do have some bombing runs I can get down, though. Okay, that's a beautiful bombing run. Lots of damage to those Furies. We can keep running with these gyrocopters as long as there isn't another Narcissism. If we kill the mask, then that's even better for us. He's stuck desummoning. Plus, I have the Grimdelvers. Ouch. Gets a pretty solid volley on my gyrocopters, though. But I think it ain't too bad. Nice little bombing run over there. We're just gonna keep running with the gyrocopters, be annoying with them. Like I said, as long as the Praeton is, you know, running around, we're good. I don't think you'll be able to secure this point anytime soon. I got more Giant Slayers. Oh, but a terror routes. I see. Well, it's going to be slightly unfortunate. Not the end of the world. Should rally. Gotta pick it up as soon as it rallies, though. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. And then we just keep running. I might even summon a minor unit. And then try to bog down the Praeton. It's going to secure a point, though. Okay, looks like we got the bait. Praeton is now occupied, and he has to try and get it out of the miners. Okay, so gyrocopters will survive. We will be able to secure one of these points. We have a bunch of Slayers over here that he can't really fight. Basically, just has to shoot him up, which is going to be very difficult. Praeton is still chasing, though. Which value does it have? It did attack the bomber quite a bit. Or, I mean, the Thunder Barge, but it's still looking kind of sus for my opponent. It's actually a very even fight, all things considered. Could resummon my Lord, but if we have all Slayers, that's not exactly needed. Do we know how Forsaken do against these guys? I don't know. Kind of an interesting situation. I don't know if we can... Man, I don't know if my Slayers actually win this. It's going to be kind of sus. Do I have my guns back? No, they're still routing. What a ripoff. It's going to be a little sus. It shall be a little sus. Though these guys, with their spinning ability, should do quite well. I guess I could get another Gyro Bomber. That's pretty crazy. Think about it. He doesn't have a lot of units here that can deal with it, right? Praeton gets slowed by the Gyro Bomber. So if I have two of them supporting each other, we're good. My infantry just can't win the fights, though. I think that might be the end of me. But if I can maybe kill the mask, we have a chance. So that's what we're gonna do. He brings in some Furies. That mitigates the capture weight. Alright, there you go. Mask's taking a little bit of heat. Gotta pull all the shenanigans though. Gyro Bombers will be supporting each other with their slows and such. We have a blasting charge unit over here that can maybe get some work done. Alright, that's not too bad. It's not great though, like, it's still definitely super sus, but at least maybe we kill the mask here. I might be able to secure a point. This is looking bad though. Ooh, brutal damage. Come on, kill her. Kill her. Shoot her. Yo, the devotee crossbows. I forgot to consider the fact that they are a melee unit. No, come on, shoot her. Oh, she's gonna live. She's gonna live. Oh, we're boned. We're boned. Slaneshi late game too much. Dang it. Dang it. Oh my gosh. So much anti-air. So much anti-air, and it was enough. Maybe if I was able to defend the Thunder Barge a bit better. No kiting build? It was a kite build. It was a Thunder Barge kite. But yeah, they actually have so many ways to deal with Slayers. That's brutal. Absolute brutality. Any way we can still win this? Mask is so close to dying. I don't think they will, though. Pretty sure the Mask is going to survive. How are my Slayers going to do? We have the spin to win. That'll help a lot. And then what? I just have nothing to clear infantry, though. I guess I might as well just Hail Mary it, keep spamming Slayers and such. I'm sad I wasn't able to use many of the abilities on my Lord. That was very unfortunate. It looks like my Doomseekers are going to be able to win this. But playing the capture point race against Slaanesh is just going to be difficult no matter what. Mask is brave, yo, 200 HP. I think if I went a little bit harder on the Mask, we might have had a chance, but we're still really far behind. It's gonna be GG well played. GG well played. Dang, rough. Rough. The Praeton was definitely a mistake. That's the only way we had a lead. The Furies did so much better. Technically, it did chase the Gyro Bombers, though. Technically, it can chase down the Gyro Bombers, which is pretty annoying. So I guess it's not the worst here. It takes so long to kill stuff, though. I feel like it's better to just have more stuff and spam Furies. Devotees are super annoying. They actually trade into Slayers. Usually Slayers demolish archers, but these guys are great. Pleasure Guards suck, though. Honestly, if you just spam anti-Slayer tech, you're pretty good. Now, if I went for a conventional build, I think I could have caused more issues, but such is life. Such is life. You live by the dice, you die by the dice. All right. Yeah, I'll have to practice more conventional Dowie builds for sure. Is this an SFT? This is a blind pick tournament. Devotees have 60 models though. Do they actually beat Giant Slayers? Yeah. Entity count doesn't matter that much. It's HP. So if you look at Dark Elves, if you look at these guys, they have high enough melee defense where Slayers will have a hard time hitting them. And then they have enough bonus versus infantry to actually clear them. 7,000 HP is all you really need. So you're kind of good. If only we could fit more barges. More barges would be sick. But yeah, I think, man, I really did not account for them being able to kill my Slayers. That's brutal. If I just went for like a Ranger spam build, I think we would have won though. Like mass Rangers and Quarrelers, and then just shoot them up. One Praeton can't kill a ton of Rangers, so you can kind of just go for something crazy like this. Now this has a much harder time versus Slaaneshi armor builds, but that's kind of the roll of the dice when it comes to dwarves. Remember when they could fire while moving? The what, the Devotees? Yeah, Mask. Yo, Mask is so slippery with that speed boost. Crazy. I gotta lock in though if I want to make it to semifinals. Somebody mentioned Quarrelers. Yeah, I think mass range is good. I did really want to see if the mass flyer build could actually cook though. Another option was just to have so many range units that even if he has a Praeton, we can just kite it. Like start with gyro bombers and such. Like 2 gyro bombers, the thunder barge, and then like a brimstone gun or normal gyrocopters. Many options. That's what you get for going Dowie. You'll only win triple Rune of Doom. Rune of Boom? You mean Wrath of Nuin? How did it go the other night? Nah. Or, oh, the other night. Yeah, we qualified. Qualification was pretty chill. Yeah, how many guys can you get? What if you go for like a lord, just a normal dwarf lord? You can almost get the Dread Dwarven 20 stack. It's close. Oh, it's super close. But yeah, you can go a Dowie 20 stack and just full on Mantide. Just like take all the Quarrelers. So like if these guys are the Quarrelers, and then you go Mass Rangers here for the Vanguard, a couple Bugmans for more Vanguard, you just have a massive wall of flesh. I think smaller builds would definitely have a hard time for this. Dwarf Tide, yeah, I think Dwarf Tide is great. We're waiting on 2 more games to finish. Chark's got a bye round. He don't got that bye round. Thank you, Trizik, for managing. Let's see here. So this is all the range you can take. You're kind of locked in on Quarrelers, but it's not too bad. And then you have reserve Slayers to summon in. This can have, you know, a Dragonback Slayer here. Yeah, this is just good. This is just solid dwarfiness. You can't really go super wrong with this. Might consider the Brotherhood of Grimnir based on some matchups. But yeah, if everyone's worried about Thunder Barges and Flyers, you can do this and catch them off guard. It's just me or Dowie really cheap for how well they hold. Dwarves are some of the best infantry in the game when it comes to infantry versus infantry. So if you compare their dwarf warriors to like, you know, Grand Cathay's Jade Warriors, right? They have, what? They got silver shields, they have more armor, more leadership. Now, Harmony will get these guys to higher melee defense, but you also got to consider they're 75 gold cheaper. I guess defensive stance will also work with these guys. But they also have 35% spell resist. Now, down on HP is a little rough, but I think the cost decrease is really nice. For basically the same unit, you get a very solid cost reduction. It's kind of like Batonia and Cavalry. What if I reserve Gyro Bomber it? Get the reserve in. Blast them to bits. But yeah, this should be pretty good. There's a few like single entity strats, and you know, there's a few like chariot shenanigans that people can do to really disrupt this. But the one Slayer embedded in everything makes it pretty difficult, I'd say. Disappointed in how poorly High Elf Shadow Walkers do in melee. Oh yeah. Well, like, let's take a look at the High Elf version, right? Compared to Devotees, what do these guys have? They have, honestly, not the worst stats. Very low entity count, though. The biggest thing is the HP. So 5,600 HP compared to a real fighter that has 7,000. Yeah, that's the big difference. Not to mention plus 12 melee defense. Oh my goodness. So you have one unit that is okay at fighting, but they already are like 1/3 dead. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. All right, we're gonna advance Swiss. Round 2. All right, who are we up against? Zambrand. Yo, yo. All right. Let's see. How do we do? I'll have to climb my way back up this bracket. Doable though. Oh, that's true. High elves do get the self buff. So it's just the HP loss then. Just the massive HP loss. Absolute brutality. Ah, dwarves versus wood elves. Not bad, not bad. That's a fun matchup. One that's actually worth practicing too. Ban what? We got Dust Bowl, Arena, and Dried Floodplain. I think I banned Floodplain. We'll probably end up playing on the Arena. If he picks Dust Bowl, that's very convenient for us. But yeah, if it's Wood Elves, I think we're pretty well set, generally speaking. Generally. He could try some Waywatcher kite shenanigans. We got the counters though. My Mass Slayer match in Turin's channel. Oh, he bans the Arena. Nice, Dust Bowl. Yo, Mass Slayer is hilarious. Doesn't always work, but it is definitely a fun one. But yeah, Dry Chuck can kind of be common here. This is just a solid build, though. I guess I don't really need that many Giant Slayers, though. Because Giant Slayers are not as useful here. We're looking more at Doom Seekers and normal Slayers just to hold on to points. Is there anything else I want? Yeah, this looks like it's annoying enough. Alright, let's do it. Give me a worst. Give me a worst. Oh, actually, I should swap this guy out. Oh, never mind. Let's go Clan Angrund. That's a fun banner. More Dowie. I'm not getting a thumbs up today. What faction do you even want to see? You want to see the mega tryhard? We'll be trying Iron Breakers. I think they're underrated. Not versus Wood Elves. Not versus Wood Elves. I do think they probably are slightly underrated, but it's so risky to take Iron Breakers. You're like one spell cast away from suffrage. What happened to the blind pick? That's for everyone else to enjoy. It's better content if I stick to one faction. Although, maybe I'll do some multi-faction streams at some point, just so we don't get stream sniped, but I don't think that's a problem yet. Alright, here we go. The Dust Bowl. So what type of Wood Elves is he going to play? Typically, they like to rush. But if I have a Man-Tide build, I think life is pretty comfortable. He would need a whack load of Dryads to pose any amount of threat to this. Not Greenskins or Dowie, but Dangler wants me to play Greenskins. I'm being torn apart here, man. 14 units. That's quite a bit. Now, generally speaking, dwarves win the archer fight, and quite handily too. You have to be really on point with your shooting if you want to not get outgunned. Because dwarves are shielded, they're armored. That just makes them so comfortable versus the Wood Elf shenanigans. Ready, good luck, have fun. So I just have a block. I just have a block of infantry, and we're just going to keep summoning in more infantry. It's that simple. We can get some rangers here on the flank. Brotherhood of Grimnir, just in case there's some super elite stuff. And if he has some cavalry trying to dive in, I have so much stuff here that they should just die once they get in. They'll be collapsed in on by so many dudes. We just have more units than them. What a plain map. Gotta have one. Alright, so he goes Starfire Shaft, Hagbane Tip Spam. Alright. Now that is actually a little scary. My front line is significantly stronger, but his his range is actually a lot more powerful than mine. So we're gonna need to get some Bugmans going. Bugmans are the absolute, look at those guys dancing. Bugmans are the absolute powerhouses of ranged trading. They'll do great. We want to kind of go thin line strats, Napoleonic tech. Goes for the Eagle summon. That is unconventional. All right. And I don't have to worry about big flanks. I can bring my warriors up front. So that'll be pretty good. He doesn't have all of his range units on the battlefield yet. I do have more range units to bring on in. So that's going to be a really nice advantage for me. His magic is just healing. So he really wants to just take that range fight then. Fine by me. If I just stall for a little bit and get more of these guys, I think we're good. I think we're good. Just have to be a little careful about that Vanguard over there. Not a big fan of that. I can even drain some ammunition, maybe. It's not the best to just tank shots here though, but having Dwarf Warriors just sit there is not the worst. I don't think he's getting a lead by doing that, because my Bugmans are just, and my Rangers and stuff are gonna be chilling, right? I think that's just a bad trade. These are silver shielded guys. Nothing to scoff at. Okay, here we go. So he's gonna be firing in onto my shielded boys. We got a lot of miners. We got a lot of Rangers. Rangers will be great. I don't know what these guys are doing. He's getting that focus fire in though. He does have Wildwood Rangers too. Pretty scary. Do I just sit here and take it, or do I push? If I push, I run the risk of being kited. In general though, like my front line, it should be able to win. This is fully shielded Dwarven infantry. This is exactly what they were meant to be doing. Blasting charges are painful too, man. Doesn't really want to deal with that. We got Dwarf Warriors coming on in. His Eagle's not going to be able to do that much. And yeah, it looks like he's just kind of losing out on the range trading. Just have to be a little bit careful about some of the units here. All right, but where's that Eagle going? Where in the world is that Eagle going? I have no idea. These guys are doing good. Honestly, if he had like a pendulum or something, that would make life so much trickier. But no pendulum is really nice for us. I think we're just going to get another Ranger. Trading wise, we're doing really good. So I don't have to think too much. I can start pushing these guys. And okay, Eagle is in. I think we just straight up ignore it. The BM on the port. He has a tree man? Guy whipped out a tree man. All right. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Oh my goodness. All right. Sure, I'll take it. He's going to get blasting charged. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. The tree man's going to set him back millennia. Oh my gosh. I think one right click and he's a dead man. Is that a pun? Maybe. Now what else do I want? I think I want to just start, yeah, finish off on all the ranged. So we'll get that done. Free man's on the run. He's booking it. Dryads are in, causing a little bit of havoc. But I just have so many Rangers, man. I just have so much ranged. The Dwarven supremacy, man. Generally speaking, very hard to outshoot the Dwarves. When you have a full infantry stack build like this, very difficult. Wild Riders do not have the armor. They're also unshielded. So they're going to be suffering pretty bad. Very good thing I brought Bugmans, by the way. Bugmans absolutely did great here. Now that his cavalry's gone, I can summon in some miners to secure the far point. The bird not doing so well either. We got an angry dwarf lord bullying the tree man. And he's suck summoning dryads. So that's a very good sign for us. I think we've secured victory with the power of the dwarf tide. All of my range is still doing very well for themselves. And the thing is, these Glade Guard, they just don't have the HP pool to really tank this out. It's why dwarves are so good at the ranged battle. Well, actually, they don't have a lot of HP either. It's just their shields. Never mind. Eagle is just still being ignored. Oh my god, 200 gold. Wow, that's sad, man. That's sad. Yeah, Eagle is a wild pick. I just ignored it the whole game, and now I can turn around and actually shoot it. And then it'll die. And then it'll just straight up die. I'm not even microing my rangers perfectly here. Blobbing up a little bit. And it's dead. Yeah, Eagle is not the unit for dwarves. It is absolutely not the unit for dwarves. Same with the tree man. Tree man also did very badly. We got some angry dragon backslayers here just bullying it. They don't have fire damage, sadly. But it's okay. Mass quantities of fire. We'll get him dead. There he goes. And that's going to be our first dwarven victory for today. Too much body fat. The dwarves just tanking the wood elf arrows. 'Tis but a flesh wound. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. I have to be better about my infantry positioning, though. I gotta be a bit better about my infantry positioning. We could optimize quite a bit here, but it's a skill that we're intentionally trying to practice for the big finals. If you're not playing at the range unit cap, are you even playing Dowie? Yo, did he get any value on his archers? Decent value. How about my guys? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of value. That is a lot of value. They all paid for themselves and then some. At least basically all of them. Crazy. Now, technically, if Wood Elves could take more Glade Guard, I think they would have a standing chance. But he kind of hit that cap there. Very unfortunate. Those dwarves versus the woodies. Dwarves win. Quarreler secretly OP. They're really good. If you just want to win a ranged fight, Quarrelers are king. 35% missile block, 80 armor. Not a crazy amount of HP, but those stats are great. 64 leadership is insane. You want to compare that to the Bretonnian peasant? They have almost double the leadership, bro. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Oh my god. The poor peasants. So they'll also stand there and continuously shoot way longer. For millennia. Bugmans have their regeneration. Oh my gosh. Most cowardly Dowie. Actually, no, the Rangers are the most cowardly. Rangers have 60 leadership. I don't think yeah, I don't think anyone has less leadership than them. Darn Rangers, man. 60 leadership. So they have the same amount of leadership that that humans have. It's because they spend too much time with the humans. Learning their ways, learning their cowardice. Lots of grudges paid today. War machines have less? No. The Dwarven war machines have 64 leadership, man. Even the gyrocopters have 64 leadership. That's hilarious. Nothing on this roster has less than 60 leadership. Most things have 64. That's jokes. That's the Dwarven way, though, man. Never break. Surely a Grudge Thor crew doesn't need to be brave. They are anyways. Imagine being as cowardly as a human. That is true. It's a little rough. You love the miners have 68 leadership. That's crazy. It's just there's so many counters to them. The shock damage is brutal. Too much time around sissy trees. Yo, Bugmans though, rocking the 75. They never out. 75 ITP too. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Do they not have their fire weakness anymore? I could have sworn they used to have fire weakness. I guess low armor will do for Burning Head. Hello, Sergeant Rat. What's up? I mean, they do go underground armed with only a pickaxe. When there's like Skaven everywhere. You gotta be hella brave for that. Yeah. Work in the mines. Work in the mines is almost as scary as just being you know, getting into training to be a dwarf warrior. Yo, I thought that's what it was. That their blood alcohol content was so high that they were weak to fire. But no, they're drinking it to the last drop. They're not going to waste... Well, I guess they're not pouring it on themselves. It is just their blood. Fiery veins. Alright, I got to win the next few games out. We can't afford to lose, otherwise I don't make it to semis. Pickaxe works quite well versus Skaven. With so many Skaven though, pickaxe only takes one out at a time. I feel like an axe would be so much better. It's a weaker heal than regen. Isn't it just as good? 0.1. What's regeneration? No way regeneration is 0.2. Let's go to some trolls. Yeah, it's better. It's better than regen. Have you won a Nurgle tournament? No. I think only Turin has. Nurgle's a tough one. Not impossible to win, but boy are they tough. Thought regen was 0.2? Yeah, nah. Nah. I do kind of like this build, by the way. Has a healthy amount of ranged, and the Vanguard Rangers can keep up with the rest of the stack. Chaos Dwarves greater than Dwarves. Fight me. Actually, though, Dwarves counter Chaos Dwarves in a tournament setting. Felix. Felix is helping hand? No. Blood Oath, 0.2. That's pretty nifty. Felix got that crazy regen. It's too bad we don't see more Felix. It's just because he's a foot character. And long grindy fights aren't crazy. If only you could take two changelings, one to be Felix, one to be the mask, you instantly win. That would be jokes. A changeling tournament. You can only bring the changeling, and then you see who wins. What would be best? I think Changeling Gelt would be good because you get Final Transmutation. Sigvald is also 0.2. Let me check. Your boy Siggy. 0.2. Quite a bit. It's quite a bit of healing. Yo, I almost did a mask Changeling build. Like just play Zinch today and just take the mask and Changeling it up. But we decided against it. Do they also get mount options? You literally get no options when you play the Changeling. You have to take all the abilities, you have to pay for the items, and you get no mounts. It's so garbage. Honestly, Changeling was implemented in a terrible way. I hate it so much. A cold is 0.1, but also regens vigor, huh? Greenskins are currently the highest win rate faction? Dang. Didn't they not even get a buff? Did Greenskins get literally anything? Malice or Sigvald? Oh, they're not that good because they're foot characters. Changeling is much better suited for something that'll actually impact the battlefield. Otherwise, you can just take A cold, you know? When you're gonna take Skaven to number 1? I'm not feeling it. I'm sure Skaven are stronger now. Like, they're definitely stronger, but like, no way, man. 0 changes? Dang. Greenskin's holding strong. Alright, 2 more matches. Charks versus Super Tai. Scarbang versus Popatty. You think the sample size on Total Tavern may not be sufficient to draw meaningful conclusions? See, that's the difference between you and a statistician. Error bars, man. Error bars it up. You can draw conclusions. It's just not super concrete. But with wide enough error bars, anything is possible. Changeling Caradrian with the severed claw. How do you stop him from not dying? Oh, you just take him for the heals? Oh my gosh, that's dumb. With Bjorg, Chaos can bring 3 regen characters for the ultimate SC staying power. Guess that's pretty cool. I guess he didn't have the best SE squad before. SE squads are super good versus Tomb Kings, so I can see it. Did Dowie get any positive multiplayer changes? I think they're the same. Let me check. Warhammer 3 patch 7.0. Let me take a look. Yes. The Demon Slayer got the Siege Attacker attribute. Hell yeah. Ah, hell yeah. That's... that's huge. Massive. Yo, they should add the Yoked Carnosaur to the Dwarf roster. I think that would be... The thing is, it would be a must-take. Like, every Dwarf build would have it. Yeah, now we got nothing. So few changes, man. It's sad. I miss the days when we got, like, full changes for all factions. I did mention that, like, you know, it'd be better to have more meaningful changes. Fewer changes, but more meaningful. Instead, they just have fewer changes. Still just as mid as they ever been. Sad. Thunderbarge airdropping Carnos. Dwarf 4.0 already. So many reworks. Hey, I think they're in a good spot now, though. Pretty nice to see. Are you ready for the next round? No, they're still fighting it out. Spoken like a true chosen of Zeech. I love it. We gotta get, what's it? The Torox guy in here too. Gotta get Torox in here. Is Dino-less Lizardman viable for multiplayer? It depends on what you mean by dinos. They're technically all dinosaurs, but if you go just Skink and Croxagore, it's not bad. Like, no big monsters. There's been a lot of builds that kind of just spam Skinks. Still waiting on 2 matches. Should be done very soon, though. Greenskins always struck you as very challenging to play. I think Greenskins, the main thing is you need to discover the double Archer Ruglets combo with a strong infantry frontline. As soon as you do that, you have a base build that you can work with. And then you have to be, like, pretty good at micro and cavalry. Most Greenskin Cav is kind of set and forget. Honestly, it's more of a knowledge thing than a micro thing. Like, I think I can teach someone to play a pretty decent Greenskins pretty fast. But, like, discovering all that tech on your own is difficult. Slon, Skinks, and Lizard, yeah. You hope one day top players will get together and assemble a nice little balance mod for multiplayer. Too much conflict of interest. Realistically, a balanced team just has to be a bunch of people who just want to see cool things. In many instances, balance by top players can make the game less interesting. Because what the top players want and what the audience wants is very different. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something to consider. Would 2v2 tournaments work out? Lag and server issues would make it very difficult to manage at a large scale. Unfortunately. What do I have to do to get some hammer organ gun gameplay? Well, there's donation requests. I still take those, though I'm not going hard on it. Other than that, there's asking in chat. I do want to win the next few games, though, so I'm kind of tryharding. Buff Uncle for Uncle. So, I think the land battle people would straight up complain if Furuncle got buffed too much. Dwarf maxing. Hey, we got Dwarf Enjoyer. You think good player just picked them up most likely? Maybe Danican or Navigator. I know Danican likes the greenskins. He might be grinding them a lot lately. What tier would you consider the dwarves in domination? Counterpick tier. Dwarves have a few matchups that are good, but they're kind of like lower on the counterpick tier. They are a very okay faction. Now, the volatility of the faction is interesting. Because if you're put in a weird situation, you can kind of all in on a strat and give people a hard time. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. There's a non-zero chance that these kind of builds work out, though. You could place the Bugmans with some cannons, just playing ultra defensive style. Dwarven cannons tend to do a lot of damage. They fall short of S tier. I like the pun, but no, they fall short of B tier, man. C tier is where I put counterpick factions. D tier is where I put factions that don't do anything. Like Demons of Chaos. D for Demons of Chaos, okay? Dwarves is C tier. Betonia is B tier, B tier, B tier, B tier, B, C, B, B, what? Corn? Eh. Low B tier, B, B tier, this is S tier, D for Nurgle. Ogre Kingdoms, I don't even know anymore. We don't have a good Ogre Kingdoms main. Skaven went up, though. I think Skaven are actually higher end C tier now. Slaanesh is S tier. S for Slaanesh. Tomb Kings are kind of a C tier now. Tzeentch is also C tier, B tier, A tier. Very few A tier factions. Quite possibly S tier. Lower S, high A tier. There you go, we're done. I did it. There's a tier list. Bretonia B. Well, Bretonia is like a solid faction that you can just take and you'll likely have a pretty good matchup with. They're very solid, well-rounded. But they don't dominate in any of the matchups. They're only like slightly favored, so that's a problem. Yeah, hard to qualify for that A tier. There's a lot of S tier factions. Maybe we should move them to A tier. What tier is Crab faction? C for Crab. Yo, if we actually brought the mod into multiplayer, though, they just get hard counted by armor piercing, gunpowder, right? Unless the Crab faction has guns. I don't know. I never played the mod. Tomb Kings is they're actually a pretty heavy infantry faction. I think no and done. Yeah, they're very infantry focused. So I don't know. Infantry's slightly weak in the current meta. You can take Ushapti, which changes things up a little bit, but I don't know, they don't have a lot of options to really like. It's a Cav meta, and Tomb Kings are just not Cav heavy, you know. I think if Necropolis Knights were stronger and just deleted Cav, I think Tomb Kings would be way better. I think this is the hole in the roster that is setting them back right now. Right now, Armored Cav beat these guys, and everybody's taking Armored Cav. Sad times indeed. Rotting Leviathan with the Queen Bess? Oh boy. They need heavier chariots. Yeah, I think chariots should be better. Now that cavalry can clear infantry, chariots have to like delete infantry to have a chance. But then are we just gonna get an arms race? Then suddenly, you know, infantry are too weak and then we gotta buff them. Honestly, I think cavalry might even be a bit too good at killing infantry right now. I'm like, what's the role of chariots nowadays? You could make them cheaper. More of a disruption tool. I don't know. What fantasy Warhammer game will be announced tomorrow? 40k Star Wars. I think 40k is the one that most people are anticipating. I think if they don't release 40K, there will be riots unless it's like Lord of the Rings. Unless it's some huge IP. But like, I think 40K is the one that people are begging them to make, right? That's just a print money type situation. It can be a garbage game, you'll still print money. I'm no company expert, so maybe I'm totally off, but from what I've seen game companies do, right? It's pretty easy to just release a highly anticipated product that is garbage and you'll still make money off of it. When's the stream? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. I'll let Reddit fill me in, or my Discord. All right, match is done. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Get into our next dwarf game. Age of Sigmar would cause people to review bomb it. I think Age of Sigmar would be a bad idea. I think that would be a really bad idea. Also nice, we're up against Ponty. Yo, yo. But yeah, Age of Sigmar disaster zone, all right? I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to do that. Announcing 40K while Dawn of War 4 is not yet released seems weird. What's weird about it? People are talking about 40K, you release a 40K game? Like, when something does well, companies put out more of it, right? It's like MOBAs or MMOs or FPS games, right? Like, that's kind of just how big companies operate, as far as I can tell from the outside. So if people are releasing 40K games, like, jump on the bandwagon. Free money. They gotta do Age of Sigmar at some point, though? Maybe. It depends. Like, Age of Sigmar, so these types of projects get started years in advance, right? It's dwarves versus dark elves. Hell yeah. But yeah, these kind of projects start years in advance. So what was doing well a few years ago? I don't think Age of Sigmar was doing well, so my money's on 40K. Ban. I think we want to play on Creeping Swamp. I'll ban Lost Temple. It's dwarves versus dark elves. We're up against Ponty. Local Hydra enjoyer has arrived. Do I thunder barge him? Dare I thunder barge the man? He wants to play on Swamp. Alright, Swamp Town. The scariest thing is the Dread Dark Elf build-up. I think there's some big nasty build-ups that can go down and give me a lot of trouble. If I can't get some sort of way to force him to advance, yeah, that's not gonna be good. Now if he goes for Bolt Throwers, a build-up is suddenly way weaker. You don't know how they can do ships or space battles. They launched Warhammer 1 where ocean battles was just auto-resolve. They can do whatever they want, man. And Warhammer 1 popped off. Alright. Now, we might not like it. You know, that might be annoying, but like, they can do it, man. You just make the game. They got siege battles. They made a trailer where there were cannons shooting off of walls for Warhammer 1, right? And then they didn't implement it. Like, they can do whatever they want. It's fine. All right, now how do you beat Dark Shard spam? That can be quite annoying. We're going to see a lot of harpies here. What are we looking at? Honestly, I think my build's not terrible. There's a few things I might want to adjust, though. artillery to outrange. Against a build-up, it doesn't work. If he just sits back and gets his full army out, it's a little sketchy. Just a smidge. How do we want to do this? He's gonna have some Dark Rider shenanigans too. He's gonna be running around causing issues. In general, dwarves are just a solid faction, very hard to break through. I just have to make sure my formation is smart, right? Just make sure the formation is smart. We don't get shot to death. I outrange his shades and all that. If he takes shades, I have answers too. It's not too big a deal. It's probably good enough. Why doesn't the archer swarm just work again? You're talking for like quarrelers? Quarreler swarm is good. It's a very safe playstyle. Hope you have a great time. Thank you. Auto-resolve space battles will be disappointing for 40k fans. I would say the best way to do space battles is the same way they do Black Ark maps, but better. So, space battles should basically be a settlement battle where you fight on your ship. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then they actually need to have the appropriate number of units. None of this Warhammer shenanigans where the map is huge and you have like 2 units on the battlefield. They should use the reinforcement mechanic for spaceship battles to at least get a bit more scale going. You know, the defender gets to reinforce with a ton of units, right? I think that would be way better. Way, way better. And then just give it a huge map and make it like a real thing. But yeah, boarding is the easiest thing. And the map should be the spaceship. It's Warhammer 40k. The ships are massive, so that works out. A frigate is like 2 kilometers long and is not considered a capital ship. Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, easy peasy. There's ways they can do it. All right, let's see what we got for the Dark Elves. So, I've gone for the main tide. He has 12 units, which is a very good sign for us. I gotta be a little careful about the, you know, Dark Shards showing up out of nowhere, but the Vanguard point's quite generous for us. Got a lot of Dwarf Warriors over here. Got our Slayers. I can deploy in line formation, that's fine. I basically just want to march up and kill him. Outnumbering when you go for the main tide strat is really good. It would be much worse if you had a lot more stuff. If it goes for the Hydras, they shouldn't be too great versus many Quarrelers too. But we'll see. I need to deploy fairly aggressively in case it is a main tide. Got a triple cap against that. Or a main tide stall anyways. I have some pretty nifty stuff too. Skyhammer Squadron to bully his backfield. We're good. Just got to combine Battle Fleet Gothic with Total War. Download both games every time you play a space battle. Then you boot up Battle Fleet Gothic to determine the winner. Yo, that game seems so cool. I'd love to play it, but yeah. Is Nurgle not slower than Dowie? Yeah, no, Nurgle, their slowness, they removed it a while ago. Okay. Bolt forward. 12 units. 4, 4, 4. So that's literally everything. I simply have to march up and chill. Get the triple cap, life is easy. Sorceress of Beasts has an immense amount of spells, but a lot of magic gain. Interesting. pre-summons the harpies. Looks like he wants to take a fight. Interesting. So, are we gonna see a build up or are we gonna see a fight? You done got triple cap, son. You gotta deal with that one way or another. That should hopefully force him forwards. Harpies is a good sign for me. What are these? Corsairs? Okay. Yeah, generally speaking, harpies are a good sign. Dark Shard shields can be a little annoying. Okay, and he summons Witch Elf. Alright. So, I'm going to stick with my range spam then. Thank you very much. Quarrelers for days, man. Alright, so we got the bolt thrower. It's going to be poking about. Totally fine by me. We do outrange the Dark Shards. So life is pretty chill. The Slayer is at max range. They're absolutely going to be able to dodge. A bit of a mistimed attack lets me get some volleys off too. With my boys. Very nice for me. Our Rangers are getting into position. He doesn't see them yet either, so he might make a bit of a misplay. But yeah, with the Dark Shards taking so much damage, life is going to be a little sus now. Chariots have arrived. You gotta be a little careful about that. Blasting charges are coming in hot. I'm gonna give up 1 point for a little bit of a better positional advantage. I don't want to get, I don't want to go too wide. I want my guys sticking together. So we're gonna be a little careful here. Gonna hopefully get that blasting charge volley out if he's not careful. Standing his ground, a little risky. Okay, and we got some executioners here too. If I focus fire them though, they should die. And okay, sadly he does manage to kill off those miners. So a little unfortunate, but if I keep my formation tight, I think we're in a okay position. I do have some bugmans here to go ahead and bully those harpies. Executioner should not be able to do too well against this much focus fire. Just have to pull back with my range a little bit. And then maybe we blasting charge them to slow them down a wee bit. Chariots are in though, and my Rangers are not appropriately split up, so they will actually be getting disrupted pretty hard by that. A little unfortunate, but the executioners are dying, so I think we don't have to worry that much. I think I'll save up for one more range unit. That should do. This will really test his chariot micro too. Sacrifice some warriors to stall for time. The executioners are gone. Nice. A little manticore summon is not a big issue. We focus fire that guy, and he'll go down nice and easy like. Harpies are really bad for him. This is why we didn't summon the gyro bomber, because we know the harpies are just kind of gonna be stuck, right? They don't really have a lot of sway here. And I think, yeah, we get the Grimdelvers. I outnumber him. I have +5 units. So Grimdelvers are perfect for this situation. Chariots just die to the massive amount of dwarven mass. Very nice. Summon Manticore. We ignore those. And there we go. We'll just pepper the Witch Elves a little bit. And this is looking positively wondrous for us. If I can just keep up that infantry advantage, we're fine. Just gotta keep it up. Keep bullying them Witch Elves. Summons another Harpy, which in theory should not be super great. There's the passive though. I do have the triple cap though, which makes life a lot easier. These quarrelers are... These bugmans are kind of in an awkward position. They're not doing super great. How are those chariots doing? It's a little sketchy right now, but life will get a lot simpler as soon as these manticores disappear. That one only has a few seconds left, so he's gonna be going down. And these harpies are really bad versus my stuff here. Plus he has a bolt thrower. I think his build just wasn't really well suited for dealing with the issues of the world. I just have a bit too much standard good stuff, you know? I just have a bunch of dwarves. I think he was much more ready for a possible gyro bomber play. That never came. And he's still outnumbered. He's almost outnumbered 2-1 now. That's a very bad sign for my opponent. His Dark Shards are having a rough day. We're just gonna move on over here. Witch Elves getting bullied. As they should. Manticores are gone, which means that we are seeing some units rally. Hell yeah. He's gonna catch a couple of my range units, but not nearly enough to actually be able to win, I think. Look at them Grim Delvers. They're cooking super hard. Miners are in the backfield having a field day. All is well. All is well. Look at those miner blasting charges. So goodbye, Witch Elves. He did manage to secure the middle, though. I'll have to think about recapturing that. Let's take a look. Reaper Bolt Throwers going down. Summons the Executioners. Okay, yeah, so he's super far behind now. Summoning the Executioners is super bad because they're not going to be able to participate for the next 5 minutes. And in a situation where you're behind, it means I just get to completely overwhelm his forces over here. Cold One Knights could do well? Oh, definitely not. They're too expensive. And they'll die to the vast quantity of shooting we have at our disposal here. Like, even the chariots, right? Like, you would think the chariots would do well, but they didn't because there's just too much stuff. There's just too much Dowie to punch your way through. Right? If chariots don't do well, ain't no way Cold One Knights do well. Look at those poor Executioners, by the way. It's been about a minute. They still have not done anything for the Dark Elves. He will probably leave the game before the Executioners do anything. It's a sad day for them. There go the Dark Riders, huh? Blitzing on in. I don't have more range units summoned, sadly. I do have Giant Slayers, though. Definitely some high potential there. Oh, we got his Lord getting slowed down by the Dragonback Slayers. Can I body block him? Come on, body block him up. Dang it. They got the escape. Unfortunate, but we're still doing okay. I think since all the Harpies are dead, now we can summon the Gyro Bombers. Gyro Bombers, super good to make sure that he doesn't get that late game advantage. We're just going to ignore these Executioners now. I've been preparing for them my entire life, it feels. So they really should not be a problem. Goodbye, Dark Riders. We'll just drop the payload here just to get them dead. And we'll leave 3 bomb drops for the Executioners. That'll definitely be enough. Now I just got to secure points. He has one more chariot is all. They took so long their passive ran out. That's sad. Very sad. And the Grim Delvers. Oh my goodness, the Grim Delvers are massacring the poor guys. Oh, whoops. Hotkeys. And boom. Oh my gosh. Oh. And that ends it. That ends it. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh boy. Honestly, he had a fairly okay mid game, but I think the early game really didn't go well for him. He just took a few too many shots on his Dark Shards, and he didn't have a great fight. Corsairs didn't really do that well versus all the armor either. Could I have beaten this build with a bunch of gyrocopters? How many Harpies did he have? 1, 2? 2 Harpies, that's it. I don't know why people keep taking Cold One chariots too. It's strange. GG, Ponty. GG. If I win the next one, we will make it to tiebreakers at least. Good sign for us. Are Medusas good here? They're not bad. They would actually be able to poke at my guys. I'm surprised he didn't bring Medusas. They would be getting shot at by Quarrelers for a long time, but if you micro well, I think Medusas would actually do really well. Why wouldn't you bring Executioners to begin with? I think he felt like he needed more of a front line. Oh, it was an Executioner resummon. He had no more infantry. I see, I see. Yeah, he spent so much on heroes and the Medusa. So he had literally nothing else to bring in. I see. They died twice and they got 110 value. Wow. Medusa can get staggered easy by arrows, but I think if you micro well enough, it just kills it. Now, it might take too long to win if you decide to bring a Medusa. There are a lot of dwarves that you got to deal with here. But yeah, that was kind of rough. His chariots did not pay for themselves. These are expensive. Witch elves are probably the scariest part about his build. But yeah, tough time. Tough time. I really want to try getting some cannons mixed in too. I think cannons are really nice for baiting your opponent forward. I think if Dark Elves just go mass infantry ultra wide, I think they have a pretty decent shot here. Dragons, unironically, they attract fire, which allows your cav and chariots to get in range or something. I don't know. I just like dragons. Oh boy. All right. I almost took your comment very seriously, but I will say if you're really good at landing breath attacks, it can take out 3 units of infantry with that alone. You can kill all the Quarrelers and then use your dark shards to clear out the rest. Really nice for getting that range advantage. But sadly they are so expensive, right? They're cool though. They did get buffed recently. Geez, 1900. If there's no cannons, I think you can totally run dragons. All right, we got a drop that needs to be managed. Thankfully, we got Storm helping us out. What happened to Malekith? Wasn't he a staple in Warhammer 2? The way healing works changed. So Soul Stealer heals like a different amount. The damage on it is different. And also, we're kind of in a cheap lord meta. Super expensive lords in land battle can be nice because the armies are really small and you have a lot of time to squeeze value out of them. But in domination, you can kind of just counter them. Though Malekith is he's still not terrible. I think Gaze of Malice is also stronger back in the day, but the ability changes kind of screwed things. Yeah, I think he's generally scarier in land battle. He has a lot of slow burn abilities and dragon breath attacks. In domination, though, it's too easy to just like bring the right units in reserve. You know, you can just not bring elite stuff if you see a big old dragon. Bring a lot more ranged. And I do want to play more land battle tournaments. I should look into signing up for them. Do I still have a Human Boys Discord? Does anyone know where land battle tournaments even get announced? Does anybody know? Does anyone know if land battle tournaments get announced in Rat Clan? god, so many discords. Too many discords. Under Empire Discord. Am I not in it? I'm sure I can find it through turns. Let's see here. It should be a Discord channel. Grey Salvation versus Mats and L. Grey Salvation has... Okay, they both have 1 win. So they have a chance to qualify, so we can't advance the round just yet. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where's Turn's Discord channel? Dude, Turn's Discord has so many channels. It's crazy. Other games, tabletop, cartography. Does anyone have a link? You just finished? Hell yeah. Yeah, does anyone have a link to the channel? I want to get into the land battle conquest scene. All right, last round at Goblins. Round 4. Let's do it. I'm up against Grey Salvation. All right. Yo, yo. Sorry, Ponty. I'm going to have to kick you. All right. Who will the dwarves be facing this time around? We'll see. You're on it. Thank you, Trizik. What's the title about? We're playing dwarves. Slowest faction in the game. Seeing if we can actually learn how to play them properly. But yeah, if it was just easier to find land battle and conquest tournaments, if they posted on Total Tavern a little bit more frequently, I might consider. Dwarves versus Dark Elves again. Dang. Got some Dark Elf mains in here, alright. Edge of the Darkwood, Brave Valley, Changer's Madhouse. Ban, which one's Madhouse again? This one? Kind of big. Has that little hidey spot for it too. Madhouse? I'll ban Madhouse. If you play Edge of the Darkwood, that's fine by me. Alright, nice. I am in the Under Empire Discord now. Woo! Very nice. He wants to play Brave Valley. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Dark Elf Cold One Knight's got a buff. Wasn't it like super minor? Alright, this should be very fun, I think. Let's try this out. Yeah, get a little bit of this. Very nice. Dwarves are absolutely a menace at times. They are a terrifying faction to behold. He's playing the Dark Elves. Yo, I want to air cheese them so much, but I'm trying to learn different play styles. I know how to air cheese. Alright, so a bunch of these, and then... Yo, I love Thunderers so much, but I feel like they're just too expensive most of the time. Quarreler, great weapons. Yeah. Okay, this should be a good enough starter build. Has more or less everything I could possibly want. And then what? And then what? Yo, I should run long beards more often. They're hype. Anything else? The troll hammers are... Okay, yeah. If he runs a Medusa kite, troll hammers are the way. They will, they'll annihilate a little Medusa. Easy peasy. And then just a couple slayers for capture. You don't really need giant slayers here. Brotherhood of Grimnir, they felt pretty good last time. Sure, why not? This seems like a good enough build. Siege attacker is what made dwarves viable now. Alright. Let's do it. I'm ready. If we win this, we make it tiebreakers, which means more games from me. Alright, so does anyone know on Human Boy's Discord where tournaments are announced? Tournaments. Wednesday Faction War. Tactical Lich. Nice. Yeah, maybe I'll start playing some some conquest tournaments next week. Then I don't have to host so much myself. Yeah, if they nerfed dwarves again, it would totally be because of conquest. You want to see the Dowie weapon teams build? That one's pretty joked. It's not actually good though. You send enough infantry its way, it just falls apart. It's so sad. Don't Medusa outrange troll hammers? Troll hammers got a massive range boost a while ago. You have an unexplainable hate for Dowie. This is very normal. You have to accept your prejudice. And find some dwarven beards to shave. Only then may you be sated. So looks like Abdel Razak has qualified. Subutai has qualified. I see. Charx only has 2 wins. He lost to Subutai. Wow. Charx must be memeing. The memory. 8 Iron Drake build cooks hard. It's a really nice skill check. Very nice skill check. Alright, you guys are gonna love this though. The Dwarven artillery shenanigans have begun. Ungraham is such a raid boss if you start his counts. In campaign, dwarves are absolutely a nightmare, yes. Put some respect on your name. You haven't been playing a lot recently, man. You haven't been playing a lot recently. Charx is literally the world champion right now, man. Come on.
Max organ guns.
Max organ guns? Alright. I'll try it out in tiebreakers. I will see if I can do it. I'm not going to guarantee that it's possible, though. Ready? Good luck, have fun. Come on, we got Charx like 3-0ing Danican as of late. That's crazy. Thought Danican was the world champion. They're both kind of the world champion right now. Charx won the CA tournament. It was a scrap? Dang. But yeah, Subutai's no slouch though. Absolutely. Subutai's no slouch. Alright, but this should be fun. So this build has a whack load of artillery. Oh crap, I mispositioned up. Walk them over to the other side. It has a ton of artillery. 10 units. 4, 7. We got 3 stealth units here. But the idea is simple. The artillery is just gonna bait them forwards. They can cover all the points. Brutality will be great. When was the CA tournament? Last weekend. It went very nicely. All right. So a little bit of a misplay on my end, but we're still good. He has a triple Harganet Executioner. All right. So obviously we're gonna have to batter them with our artillery here. I think that much is very obvious. That's wild. That's wild, man. Triple Executioner. All right. Now the range buff lets me really hammer down on any location we want. And I want to play a very defensive game here. A little bit of lag, but we'll live. Not an insurmountable amount of lag. But yeah, I gotta find a way to deal with these guys. I can also use some Grim Delvers here in case he tries to get fancy with his SE squad. Definitely want them to get bullied. But basically what we're doing here is we're just hunkering down, getting into a marvelous position for ourselves. And then we can let the cooking go from there. It's a Marathi and a Death Hag. Death Hag can't do that much. She does have Pit O Shades, which can be a little annoying, but in general, I think we are in a pretty nice situation. Miners just backing up. And we just want to punish him for taking points. As long as we do that, we're pretty happy. Come on, big blasting charges. Give it to me. Okay, yeah, he's gonna pull back the bleak swords. I don't think he's gonna let me. I don't think he's just gonna let me get those blasting charges off. Oh, there's a Pit of Shades. All right. A little bit of a stealth unit over here too, capturing the point. A lot of shenanigans. A lot of stealth shenanigans. I think we'll take care of the Bolt Fiends now. I get a mostly dodge on the Pit of Shades. That's an expensive spell, not something that you really want to be losing out on. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I just need to not get overwhelmed. So how do you not get overwhelmed? I think we save up for a Brotherhood of Grimnir. Oh, good. The lag, though, it gets powerful, more powerful by the second. Terrifying. I don't need to capture this point. I just need a value trade. Points are pretty easy to retake with dwarves. Malachi continues the cooking. And those executioners are going to take 50 years to show up. Ah, the stealth, though. Look at him go. All right. I guess we'll just point blank shoot Marathi. Goes for the Harpies. Harpies are not great, though. I don't think Harpies are the way. Marathi's taking a lot of heat, too. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Our defensive position's working out pretty well. Cannons lined up. Dimiji, thank you very much for the raid arena. I haven't had the time to check out your content yet, but I do really appreciate the raids. All right, and this is where we blitz them. Grimdelvers on the Marathi squad. He's trying to do campaign shenanigans and dodge a lot with his heroes, but it's not going to be good enough. I'm just a little too bullied. And yeah, oh my god, it's going to be a massacre. It's going to be an absolute massacre. Yeah, there they go. Oh, the Grimdelvers, the Delvin. Marathi gets hit in the butt by a cannonball. She dead. And now nobody has leadership. Yeah. This is the classic Dwarven style of just baiting them into a terrible position with your artillery. Doesn't always work. But when it does, it feels completely and utterly oppressive. There's going to be a minimal losses dwarf situation. I've seen enough. Oh boy. Yeah, Marathi just couldn't really cook. Executioners are now ultra dead. And now the Shades have arrived. but they shall not be enough. You can see my artillery pieces, they have 40 armor, so they don't even care about harpies that much. Sure, they'll take a bit of damage, but they are still chilling. Blasting charges on the dark shards, pretty brutal. And yeah, he also mistimed his executioner push. Dwarf builds in general, you really have to be on point with your engagement timings. Everything has to go in at the exact same time, or you're gonna die. Artillery pieces back, so those harpies, their lives amounted to nothing.
Stole your strat.
It's gonna be GG.
-16.
Dang, blind woozy. Thank you very much for the donation, but dang. GG. Marathi got no value. The tag did nothing. Executioners did actually nothing. Most of the dark shards were routing. Yeah, that's just brutal, man. That's just brutal. Malachi goblobbers and cannons. It's very nice. I think harpies is a misplay. I think you just need more infantry. Shutting down the artillery for a few seconds doesn't really get you anywhere. Either that or some cav to like really run them down. Whew. Executioners were busy chopping wood. Man, dude, the long flank with the executioners is very brutal. But that's gonna do it. I have made it to the semis. I will see if I can get organ guns. I don't know if I can go max organ guns, but we can definitely get a few. Flame cannons, barbecue build. Flame cannons can be pretty hype. I will say, the organ guns, they only cost 1,000. Organ gun Malachi? What if you just go max artillery? That's 2 toonies? What? No, a toonie is $2. Oh, from the other donation, yes. Get yourself a double-double. Yo, I ain't buying hamburgers. They're so expensive now. Yeah, obese chicken. Obese chicken knows what's up. Burgers are so expensive now. It's crazy. All right, but we're just waiting for the bracket to finish up. Oh, Danny Can's playing today. I didn't even notice. Yo, we got Danny Can. Danny Can lost versus Abdel Wazak. All right. People training for the big CA tournament. Spooky, spooky. Fast food is now more expensive than fine dining? Absolutely not. I've also been to like medium level restaurants and it's like, would you like to pay $25 for some pasta? I can buy Alfredo sauce and boil pasta myself, thank you very much. At the very least, give me some cooked meat. But at most places, when you ask for meat, they cook it terribly. Get a meat thermometer, man. Get a meat thermometer. You get perfectly cooked meat all the time. I order fish. You know, every once in a while when I have social obligations to eat out. Get myself some salmon. It's like cooked to the core, man. It's so dry. I prefer eating my own food way more. You're mostly paying for the labor, but like, come on, man, it's not that hard to toss a bunch of fish in the oven. Buy myself so much salmon for the price of like fine dining. Seems like there's a bunch of newcomers to the multiplayer scene. There's always a constant trickle of newcomers. The recent tournament might have attracted some people too. feel like everything just became omega expensive after / during COVID. Well, COVID kind of was a big thing. Omega expensive though, at least in Canada. You know, things have been going up with inflation. And that's about it. Honestly, the only thing that impacts my finances is like the house. Or the condo, whatever I can afford. Property prices are... nothing compares, right? Like, okay, yeah, I could go and buy some, like, you know, a $100. I can buy like a, you know, a multi-terabyte hard drive for like a couple $100. Nothing compared to a house, man. That does not impact where I will get to live in the future. Oh my goodness. Food too, man. Food is pretty cheap, all things considered. Most people overcook most meats. Oh, most people overcook most meats for sure, yeah. Get the meat thermometer. It's just OP, man. You're just hacking the game. You get the cheat sheet on how long you need to cook stuff. You just get it to the right temperature, and then you take it off the heat. Well, you take it off slightly before, because the you know, the heat will still be getting absorbed into the middle, and you get perfectly cooked meat. It's that easy. Reference point from Germany. The stuff you get from big chains now is as expensive as local burger chains. Dang. I assume it's not because the price has dropped. Beans in bulk. Ooh, beans in bulk. Dang, yo, that's hardcore. Costco bean bag. Alright, so we're the first one to finish our match. Our game was pretty fast, though. Charix versus Danican. Classic match. But yeah, I just need a dwarf strat that, like, puts them on their toes, you know? If you play dwarves really well, your opponent has to play basically perfectly to win. Now, if they do play perfectly, they'll just win all the time, but not everybody can do that. People make mistakes. You can make it even harder with all your stealth units, so they don't know what is a safe engagement angle and all that. Yo, I'm getting hungry, man. I want this tournament to be done. Thankfully, we just have tiebreakers, semis, and finals at most. So we should be in a good position. As it stands, the people who have qualified for tiebreakers / semis: Abdel Razak, Subutai, myself, Renataki, the winner of Charix and Danican. And also, not Pontim's Claw. But if Adlering beats Pontim's Claw, they will also make it. Interesting. We'll see how it pans out. Looks like we'll have a big tiebreaker round. Hooey. Very exciting. Quad organ gun is a sleeper meta build. I think it's actually not terrible. You can get their range pretty far. What, the 300 range? What's the Dark Elf bolt thrower range? It's hilariously short. 350. Yeah, so with Malachi, your organ guns can almost shoot bolt throwers. You kind of need a flat map for it. But I'm sure they shred infantry. What if you go like organ gun, mass ranger, and then you spam reserve miners? So you just position near your vanguard points and use these guys to body block. You get the Grim Delvers. This is a dumb build. This right here is a dumb build. It's a funny build. It's also very dumb. Oh my god, it even works out spendings wise. It even works out spendings wise. Holy moly. Okay, this is kind of fun. I will live or die by this build. You just blast them, right? Just blast them. Sorry, just helping someone out. Q in 20 minutes. This build is Garber. I'm never taking organ guns ever again. It looks good. I'm sure it's better than Oceanids, right? Looks like Adlering has defeated Pontum. So it's just Charix and Danican now. Slayer Pirates as well. Slayer Pirates are cool. They're not amazing though. I don't know how I feel about them. With a build like this, you kind of just want to kill your opponent and then have cleanup crew. So we're talking like Slayers. Right? So you just whittle them down until they have basically nothing left. And then these guys just roll around and kill everything else. Maybe. Maybe. All right. We have some downtime, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at a replay. Gonna take a look at a replay real quick. Pope Patty's asking for help on how to win Bretonia vs Beastmen. I'm happy to cover replays, but only if we can do it on stream. So let's take a look. Generally speaking, this Bretonia build looks like it's pretty good. Lots of infantry. You have a cav advantage. Yeah, this should be pretty good. Let's take a look. Lots and lots of infantry. You have Alberic. He's coming in. Hits up Malagor. Alright, get skirmished a wee bit. Nothing too crazy, right? Okay, next round has to begin. 1 second. 1 second. Alright, so the people who have made it. Tiebreakers. It looks like we will need, yeah, just 4. So, left side is top bracket. At Tiebreakers. At Abdel. At Razak. At Subutai. Stand by. At Anticity versus at Charix. At Renataki versus at Adlering. Alright. So we'll get that going. While I manage that, I'll just take a quick look at this. So far, so good, though. Oh my god, what was that? You just get pendulumed? Oh, you lined up your archers, bro. Or you just lost 1,000 gold. You just lost like 800 gold at least because you ate a pendulum. Alberic's kind of in an awkward position. Alright, so you got your peasant frontline fighting. That's fine. Dang, that's such a huge loss of DPS, though. That's really bad. You're also not sending in your battle pilgrims. Why are they not fighting right now, right? You can swap them out for your peasants, and they love that. Okay, you also summon in Pegasus Knights, which are not that crazy versus Beastmen. You can just spam normal Knights and you'll have more dudes. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Okay, yeah, that's why you lost, man. You know why you're losing to Beastmen? Because you're eating fat pendulums to the face. You're lining up your archers. At most, a pendulum should kill one archer. Do these Pegasus Knights die? And the Pegasus Knights are dying. Yeah, cut the Pegasus Knights. Take some normal cavalry. Alright? Stop skirmishing in their backfield and just kill their front line. You have battle pilgrims that were doing nothing forever, man. So, like, imagine if you have Cav here. Cut the Pegasus Knights and do all that. And you have Cav hammering these guys, right? And then your archers are supporting. They're killing off all the back line. I think you'd be much better. Your cavalry's just not really doing a lot. Like, there's no point skirmishing here. They should be hammer and anvil. Like, look at that. The moment you get hammer and anvil, instantly Ungors are dead, right? You needed to be having your cavalry swarming the main fight instead of being fancy. Alberic should be sticking with the cavalry too. Stop wasting time chasing Malagor. He's never gonna die. Alberic should be routing these guys off. Like, look at this. So you see this here? You should have been here ages ago. Alberic, right? You could have done this at the very beginning. Wrath of Manon down the pipe here. Cavalry, slam in the back, instant route, right? But you're taking your time. Now there's Butchers of Kalkengard. Alberic didn't get the Wrath of Manon. I think those are the big things. A lot of big misplays. You just want to be a little more. You just want to be a little more careful there, and then you're pretty good. I think those changes will help you out a lot. All right, here we go. It's time. So we're up against Jarks, the big man. What's he gonna play? You think he's gonna go for high elves? Helves. All right, so we got high elves. They're pretty bad versus artillery. I'll ban. Do I want to play Haunted Vale? Sure. I'll ban a Ragnarok Lair. Good enough for me. In my defense, I was really tired when playing this. The archers is more acceptable not dodging it, but you should like stagger the formations a bit so you don't have to worry about that. The bigger misplays was like with the cavalry. Pegasus Knights only work if you never put them in a bad situation. Otherwise, it's pretty sus. Alright, so this is Itza. It's Itza. A little sketchy. He's gonna have a lot of heavy hitters, that's for sure. But I have a fair number of tools myself. Is he gonna have a sneaky lord come on in? He could have a sneaky lord. Get some real annoying stuff on me. So I gotta be a little careful about that. I gotta be a little careful about just a full rush. High elves have the war lions too. You have a lot of stuff that's quite annoying. Many ways to take out slayers. White lions end up being ultra annoying here. There's just not a lot on the dwarf roster that will trade crazy into white lions. Kind of have to shoot them up. All in all, everything's just a little awkward. Let's see here. How do I want to deal with them? Because I know Giant Slayers don't trade that well. Unfortunately. I could try some Longbeard Great Weapons, but then War Lions can kind of bully them too. And use some Gyro Bomber stuff. I could just rely on my artillery to get the job done, though. Not a terrible idea. Let's see. I could spam Dwarf Warrior Great Weapons too. That's just like a cheap unit that I can kind of throw into them and get some damage off. It's probably not terrible. Sure, let's try it. Charek's gonna cook me though. He's gonna bring Oceanids. The max Oceanid build. Is he going for an attempt? It got closer in the end, so you think even watching out for pendulums would have been a game changer? Oh yeah. Having your archers live to just keep shooting is so much value. Easily you can get like, you know, even if they just live for a little longer, that's like 200 gold per archer. That's 800 gold. That's a free Centaur in the late game that you don't have to worry about. So if you just work on your essentials, it's pretty good. Now, how do we want to play this? We're taking the organ gun max against Charek's, which seems mildly suicidal. But don't you worry, I have a plan. Now, this hill is going to be the bane of my existence, but they should still be able to shoot decently well. We got Malachi. I'm gonna position a sneaky little range unit over there. Sneaky little range units over here. Gonna get a crossbows up front and center to help defend these guys. All right. Hopefully this works. He has a Mist Mage. He has Sea Lord Aislinn. Oh boy, alright. And a bunch of archers. Interesting. He doesn't outrange my organ guns though, right? 300? Oh yeah, no, I'll still outrange them. Oh, perfect. They will be stealth though. I have to be a little careful about that. Alright, here we go though. It's time, fire away! And he's gonna go for a bit of a deep dive. We're just gonna pull back to make sure that I don't get shot up too much. He does have some skirmishers on the side. Gotta be a little careful about those. My organ guns are hurting him pretty bad though. Ah, he does have a little, yeah, he does have a little chariot. Here comes the special play though. Oh, barely out of range. Barely out of range. That's unfortunate. Although I might still be able to get him. Big shots from the organ guns. How long do these guys last for? Not too long. Not too long. Okay, we might be able to get a Mist Mage snipe. That'd be great. Okay, very nice. And Aislinn's not looking too good either. Alright, I'll take that. Slow is really cooking him up. Yeah. Mitch Mage doing his bestest. He gets rallied. He gets rallied by big man Aislinn. Alright. Interesting bout we have, actually. He's still probably going to suffer pretty hard, though. I do have a runesmith that's kind of useless now, though. That's a little unfortunate. Gonna need some slayers here to deal with the lions for sure. And those water elementals, they are very annoying. I think those archers are gonna be a problem too, right? Okay, now we do rally our guns. That's good. We have our slayers coming on in, huh? Aislinn's gonna live though. That's a big problem. Yeah, I'm gonna need to start killing these archers. Because if they get on top of me, I think we're just dead. So that's going to be the plan. Operation Jump the Archers. I do have a bunch of miners with blasting charges that we can get onto the field. They'll be pretty good. The organ guns are still online and operational too. And as you can see, they shred those poor archers, man. Giant Slayers can dodge a little bit. Very nice. Artillery piece is gonna have to take a while to come back, but yeah, okay, not terrible damage. Maybe we'll get the Grim Delvers back here soon too. There he goes for another big charge though. Those charges are brutal. There's another ocean summon. All right. Can I get his stuff dead though? We'll see. Yeah, there he goes, pulling back with his archers now. So I'm gonna have to run back here. At least the artillery is mildly okay. Oh boy, these guys though. Yeah, he's really hunkering down on that chariot micro. Will it be enough, however? We don't know yet. They're doing the best. Elemental is chilling. Oh, he has more Oceanids. He has more. Oh, that's terrifying. What if I just keep spamming Slayers though? Will they cook? Ooh, my blasting charges got caught. That's unfortunate. He's really cooking me with his chariot micro. I think it might be a bit too much. I almost got this guy killed, but the rally on him is so annoying. Though he does only have a bunch of archers. It'll really depend on his ammunition situation. But I think we're starting to fall behind. It's going to mostly depend on my artillery pieces, if they rally or not. Man, if I got that guy killed, he would not have so much pressure. That's very unfortunate. And now he's just dodging. Will he run out of ammunition, though? I do still have a lot of artillery pieces. Don't discount the vast quantities of artillery I still have. And if I start spamming armor, his archers are not going to have the best day ever. Ah, crap. Here come the Oceanids, though. Oh, boy. The Oceanids hurt so much. Yeah, I don't know if I have a way to actually kill him. Oh, this is so painful. I do have some Slayers. He's going to summon another Oceanid. If I can get a enough Slayers on them, it's not too bad. He does have a ludicrous number of archers, though. Dude, his micro with the chariots, though, is so terrifying. So disruptive, those Miss Mages. There he goes, landing again. So he wants to go for a big charge. We're going to go for, hopefully, what is a big counter punch here. I slowed the wrong one. Mist Mage is taking a lot of deeps, though. And we have our big guns here. Big guns are going to cook. Mist Mage is down. Okay. Okay, that's one down. If I can get Aislinn, too, then we actually have a chance. This is just pure main company. Oh, Aislinn's suffering. Oh, he's suffering. I think he might barely be able to outrange me, though. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. I was hoping my my Grim Delvers would be able to get the job done. Only getting the caster. Oh, man, dude. Fairly pitched battle. I don't have any Slayers to summon on in. But we know that these guys don't like they don't like this stuff too much. Just some rangers and getting shot to death. So we're gonna try that. Maybe get a rear charge on them, maybe get a couple Slayers here. He's starting to swarm the points with white lions, though. I think we're just dead. Dang. Yo, the Oceanids. The Oceanids with the clutch. If we were on a bit more of a flat map, I think the organ guns might have cooked Aislinn. He got his we got his stuff really low. I just barely didn't get the slow off on them. But I feel like if I had just a little bit more time to get some shots off, we would have gotten them killed. Chark's got that micro, though. I don't think there's a way we can pull this back. Dang. Yeah, minor charges didn't do anything versus Oceanids. This is the one of the situations where they specialize very well. Organ guns were cool, but I think I don't know. I don't know if it was the map or just my targeting. GG, well played. Sharks wins. He wins. Dang. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm actually really curious how they did. Ugh. Okay, two of them did well. Two of them did well. That's actually not the worst. I think it was actually my Rangers that were put in a worse situation. Honestly, they didn't do bad either. He did get one War Lion into the cookie jar. I feel like if I just had more Slayers, we might have actually done it. It was surprisingly close to him losing out on a lot of these guys. Maybe 4 was overkill. I wanted to try it out. Though, for having 4 organ guns, they definitely got a lot of work. They just barely didn't kill the Mist Mage was the problem. The archers were really good for killing off the Slayers after the fact. But I think that's just because the early game wasn't played perfectly. I just needed to catch him with the slow. I didn't realize the range was so tiny, man. Brutal. But such is life. We'll go ahead and cast his top 4 series. Let's see here. I'm gonna need to adjust this. And we should be good to go. Water can't beat no pirates. Get the Slayer pirates going. Yeah, I think maybe a bit too much ranged, right? Like just cut these guys, get some warriors or something. What's the hardest faction in your opinion? Not entirely sure. Alright, let me just set Charix in real quick and then we should be good to go. I wonder if cannons would have been better. The Oceanid summons to shut down the artillery was actually pretty fancy. He took a lot of damage trying to do that though. If I had my guns in position, we could have punished him for it. Unfortunate. But yeah, because he was really deep diving the artillery. Alright, so Sharks, okay. He is added into the top 4. Alright, and he's up against Renataki. Or no, Subutai and Abdel are facing off. Okay. Sure. Okay. Nice. Spec slot, please. At Subutai versus at Abdel. Razak. Alright, there we go. Oceanid should get regen in water. Well, like, I don't know, like you don't regenerate when you're sitting in meat, right? It's not how that works. Alright, let's get some fun spectator games. I wonder if I just had a bunch of ranged, if you would have been able to shut that down. I feel like with the slows, you could probably just kill him. He does have a bunch of archers, which is nice versus my rangers, but yeah. You don't? Miss Mage on Skycutter is so expensive, but as a delivery mechanism for summons, it seems faster than anything in the game. Isn't it like the same as just an eagle? Pretty sure it is. Man, I feel like, oh man, I feel like if we were on the right map, those organ guns would have done so well. It felt a little awkward for them. Although, honestly, they probably should have just been killing the archers and ignoring his heroes and lord. if I just deleted his archers, there's nothing he can do versus slayers, right? I think I just misplayed the organ gun build. Charge acceleration buff to go even faster. Yeah, like there's a bit of that. Oh yeah, hardest faction. I don't know what the hardest faction is, man. It really. What do you mean by hardest? Hardest to win a tournament with? Nurgle. Hardest to play? Not too sure. All right, we need a spec slot. Okay, no, he has a spec slot. Okay, never mind, we're in. Huzzah! Alright. What's it gonna be? Beastmen versus High Elves? I really wonder. I really wonder. I think if you go quad organ gun, you get the Grim Delvers and then just a bunch of Slayers to defend. I think that might actually be really good. Grim Delvers are a nice just surprise tool that can potentially win you the game along with their slow. And the Slayers just kind of sit there and protect things. Especially if there's like an Oceanid summon, you just use Slayers to body block. Hardest to play campaign with? I don't play enough campaign, man. Everything's too easy for me now. I can't tell anymore. Maybe like a super old faction with no mechanics. I don't know. They all have OP mechanics now. I don't know. Belagar. I guess Belagar dwarves maybe. I don't know. They're all easy. Just make a doom stack, man. You'll be good. If he wins with Oceanids again, nerf High Elves. I think I would love to see Oceanids actually get used here. Do they cook? Yo, Archaon's campaign is just auto-resolve for days. Yeah, and everyone wants to be friends with you. I will say the Oceanid summon is pretty cool. Mist Mage Oceanid summon. You have to be a little careful with them. But yeah, they're not bad. I did stand my ground with my artillery. If I had dropped my artillery, then they could probably play keep away from the Oceanids for a little bit until they start to disintegrate. It's honestly just a really weird play style. I don't know how I want to play against it. I'm sure there's a solution though. Skrolk. Yeah, Skrolk is kind of an awkward campaign. Very few mechanics. Nerf Oceanids, way too OP. Oh, man. I will say the quad, oh man, the organ guns, they just need something to kill the archers with. I wonder if you swap one organ gun with a flame cannon to rout off archers, if that makes a big difference. Definitely the rangers were the weakest link. They didn't really do much. They just kind of rout. Vlad campaign? Bro, you're playing undead, man. Just raise dead. Raise dead is like one of the strongest mechanics in the world. You don't need a min-max heroes. You do have to know how to fight Ungrim though. So you need to have like the right chariot slash cav micro to beat dwarves. So I guess that part is difficult. Even so, you can kind of blob them if they don't take blasting charges. I could see Vlad being harder than some other campaigns just because of Ungrim. I think after Ungrim, life gets a lot easier. You just get Winds of Death. I think Vlad with Winds of Death and you're done. Looks like Charks is ready. All right, what's Ren attack you gonna do? What are we looking at here? We could see some chimeras. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, I guess Vlad is probably on the harder end of things. I still think Raised Dead is an insane mechanic, though, even if it's boring. In terms of power, which is what we were talking about, Raised Dead is super strong. If you beat Azag, you can make Ungrim like you. Dang, super OP. All right, here we go. Let's see what they do. Beastmen versus High Elves. Who wins? Oceanids again? Okay, so Charks is really trying to go hard on the Oceanids. He does kind of have a normal kite. Do they die to Ungor Raiders, though? I think he's going to use his skirmishers to kill the Raiders. Maybe this works. Oh yeah, Vlad does start with Isabella. That's true. If you really don't know what you're doing, I could see it being pretty difficult. Like, you know how you have to know how to fight Ungrim's armies, because he's gonna declare war on you unless you know how to get some alliances. There's at least ways to lose, right? Like if you just play a Krokgar campaign, there's no like threat of death looming on the horizon. With Vlad, at least you have a pretty powerful dwarf faction nearby. This is fun though. So what, we got spearmen, we got Oceanids, some Shadow Walkers. All right. Pretty chill. Army's not especially large though, so he's gonna have to kill off all these raiders and then hit them with the gut punch with the Oceanids. I think the biggest problem for the High Elves though, or the biggest problem for the Beastmen, is they don't have a way to deal with Altharian. So Altharian's just gonna dumpster everything. There's nothing that can contest him, and he's probably just gonna dive bomb the raiders right away and just get him off the battlefield. Miao Ying's campaign is now hard mode, is it? I haven't played Cathay in a long time. They don't have as many snowballing mechanics, though, it's true. So what, we got a Brace Shaman, we got the Savage Dominion, all right. Interesting situation. Good first volley from the Shadow Walkers. Get a little bit of poison in. Very fun times for them. Slongors are pretty happy to fight the low armored elves, but this is what we're talking about. Altharian's just going straight for the gut punch. He's setting up for a Mistwalker barrage. You can see he's actually following the Bestigors. But no, disengages to jump the archers. Gets a Mistwalker barrage on them instead. And that's going to be pretty painful. Should be coming in soon. There it is. And a bunch of raiders go down. That's going to be good for the Oceanids. A solid beginning. Morgar is actually attacking Altharian. He has pretty decent stats. It's actually really comparable to Altharian. So technically they can kind of tussle. And this bad boy has regen, so it's actually making it kind of awkward for Altharian. Morgar is a beast, man. Oh my god, the puns. Okay, no, seriously though. He's insane. He's very, very strong. Almost not worth fighting a lot of the time. But here we go. This is where we see the Oceanids go. Oceanids versus the Bestigor herd. Doing pretty good. Bestigor is not getting a lot of damage. Actually, only 10 gold worth of value. Which means that they're not even attacking them. What's going on? Is it a miss micro? Did he target the spearman instead? He might have. And that means they're actually just not doing anything. Holy, no value. Wow. Massive misplay on those Bestigors. These ones are doing much better. They're actually fighting. But I think he actually blocked the spearman from getting attacked using the Oceanids. That's some big tech. Shadow Walkers still bullying the Bestigors. They are now slightly out of position. Not a comfortable position to be in. Eltharion will likely be routing them off. And the Ungors, very out of position. They're going to be getting caught by some Silver Helms. Good play from Charix, but Renataki has a lot going for him still. Spawn summons are cooking. He has the Cav advantage too. Does Eltharion have that barrage? 5 seconds. If these Centaurs stay in the fight and Eltharion gets a Mistwalker barrage, they're all dead. And it looks like a bit of a misplay from Renataki. Decides to take the fight with Eltharion on top. There's the barrage. Thankfully, mostly misses. So they're going to live. Beastmen do have a triple cap going on, though. If they can just keep trading relatively even, it's pretty good for them. Oceanid actually cooked pretty hard here. And the destruction of the Raiders continues. So actually not going too bad. Oceanid's kind of cooking. 800 gold over there. We have 660 gold over there. Not bad. I think Beastmen, yeah, their archers didn't get the best coverage on these Oceanids, though they're not the best in general. Beastmen archers are kind of chumpy. It's kind of nice to see them getting played here. High Elves are now starting to counterpunch, but they're going to have to actually capture the points without taking devastating losses. One of their Reavers is already gone. One Silver Helm is on top of Spears. Spears not really landing too many attacks, though. I think it's still anyone's game. Though capturing the middle point is definitely a huge boon for High Elves. If they can hold this and keep trading up, they have a lot of time to work with. Beastmen are going to need to find a way to counterpunch here and regain a bit of their value. Probably using these Centaur throwing axes. Slongors are not going to do so well versus Oceanids, so I think that's actually a bit of a misplay. And if you look over here on the far side, Slongor is on the verge of routing. Oceanids are also trading up really well on that side too. I think High Elves are probably going to pull out ahead. Oceanids for the win. Big charge here from the Centaurs. They actually don't have great stats though. So against Reavers, it's not too pretty. Look at that, +5, +14 melee stats. Centaurs throwing axes will actually lose that. And I think Beastmen have actually just gotten a little bit too out-traded by the High Elves this game. Literally nothing to deal with Eltharion. He's just been having a great time. And the Oceanids, they cooked 1,000 and 1,100. Not bad, not bad. I do feel like Beastmen could have had a big cav advantage though to just overwhelm the Shadow Walkers. I'm surprised the Shadow Walkers survived so well actually, considering their larger numbers. But this map is pretty good for defending these guys. Let's take a look. More Centaur throwing axes are here. A couple Centaurs, but I think Charix is just... he's winning on all fronts. There's not much to really do. Bestigor herd looking pretty rough. What else do we got? Is that a heal? Oh, he's using Apotheosis for these guys. Ah, that's nifty. That's a nice little constant heal that you can put on them. One archer rallies, but man, these poor Ungors got ultra bullied. Oh, well, you know, this one I guess got 900 gold. That's actually rather insane. How about this one? Only 200? I wonder what they've been shooting all game. Is it the Oceanids? That's a lot of value. Very surprising. Yeah, if there's no ranged, Oceanids are not bad. You do have to really shut down their ranged, which can be hard if your archers are undefended. But, yeah, if you put them against infantry, yeah, no, they absolutely could. I think the DLC opened up any matchups for High Elves. I think High Elves versus Khorne is much better now. And GG, dang, look at that. Solid value. 1,300, 1,500. Shadow Walkers also got a ton of value, though. They were integral to getting that win there. Bestigors really mismicroed. I think just YOLOing the Bestigors in was a big misplay. Probably should have just disengaged and tried to get around. But it's also important to note that Bestigors kind of got countered here by these guys. So as Beastmen, you kind of want to go for a bunch of other stuff. Kind of want to go for more of a... You might want a wider front line, because Bestigors don't win the front line anymore. Very risky. One of them also overextended. Sad times to see, but good to see that Oceanid's got the team. I do think Eltharion, though, is just really good. It's nifty. Oceanids are OP. Yo, imagine people actually start running them on the reg. I could see them against, let's see, not Vampire Coast, but I could see them against, like, Beastmen, Khorne, Nurgle. Those kind of matchups. Yeah, Danican also did not like Oceanids very much, but he did lose to Charix. So Charix, he might have the sauce. Skaven maybe? No. Skaven have the 360 skirmishers. Interesting. Very, very interesting. You think Necrofex is viable? No. Necrofex doesn't pay for itself, even if it shoots all game. Only if you know your opponent's bringing some solid elite cavalry that you can pick off. But even then, the Necrofex sometimes just gets swarmed and murdered. You like this map? Has some fun matches? Yeah. It's a classic. It's the one good map CA released. Yeah, Necrofex was more popular in Warhammer 2. Because you could kite with it. Whereas Coast ranked? They're pretty high, but I think they're really weak versus top tier factions right now. So... I don't know how much Vampire Coast will be seeing. Do you know the new rules for the finals? Nothing has really been announced yet. I think we're still waiting on that. I don't even have a set date, sadly. The Lizardmen. Lizardmen are still Lizardmen. If you want to see good Lizardmen play, though, check out Charix's games. He plays some solid Salamander kite. Are Oceanids good, or is it just Charix? I think if Charix was playing against Charix and he was Beastmen versus his own High Elves, he would probably kill the skirmishers, keep his archers alive, his Ungor Raiders, and they would cook. The one Ungor Raider that was kind of left alone for a bit got 1,000 gold worth of value. Imagine if all 3 Ungors got that, it would be devastation. And there's not a lot stopping those Ungor Raiders from cooking super hard. But I think Oceanids are not terrible. Like, if you put them in the right situation, they will punch slightly above their weight. They just come with the caveat of if you screw up with them, they will get annihilated. Bloaty builds. Bloated up. I think any of the Vampire Coast big monsters are good. Leviathan's taken against the Bretonians fairly often. Could see some of that. Yo, I would kind of like playing more Lizardmen. I feel like the Chameleon Skink Kite is really good. You have these Salamander shenanigans. You have a decent frontline playstyle, Shredder of Lustria stuff. I'd be down to play more Lizards every once in a while. Navigator's Monster Squad game yesterday versus Boss Toss. I think I missed it. Was it good? Oh no, you mean the Demons of Chaos build. Didn't that lose? It was close though, right? Wasn't it like really close? Or did he win? Yo, the Rainbow Road Demons of Chaos build. Crazy shenanigans. Didn't they buff the explosion thing on Salamanders in 7.0 or a different patch? We check. Lizard men. Nope. All Saurians got +5 leadership and Horn ones got +3 melee defense. That's it. Salamanders is still the same. He won. It was so cheesy. Yo, that's man. But hey, you know, if it wins, it wins. That's all you gotta do. Emergency ROR build, yeah. Man, I really want to man, I want to play more tournaments. I want to enjoy all the DLC shenanigans, but I also have so much other stuff I gotta get to. Dang it. 4 rounds of Swiss and a tiebreaker isn't enough to sate me. I need more. More. What army has the best emergency campaign build? Vampire counts if you have Raised Dead. If you're talking RORs though, Warriors of Chaos have everything. Warriors of Chaos, you can pick and choose the best RORs. Empire has some good options though. Though it's not amazing and not that easy to build. Why not set up another tourney after this one? Work-life balance, man. Work-life balance. That simple. Winning quad organ guns until I win the tournament. I think I'm probably not gonna go quad organ gun, but I do want to try mixing them in more. The DPS is really nice for 1,000 gold. Especially with Malachi. Like, I fully think I just misplayed that game with the organ guns. I don't know if I would have won if I played correctly, but I think most of the issue was me having bad target priority. The random unit browser that shows up. I don't know if there's a way to disable that. You have 2 finals tomorrow. You shouldn't be here. Oh, I thought you meant tournaments. Ah, you mean for school? Well, hey, this one, the stream will be done soon, and then you can start that study grind. We're not doing much right now. You can study while we wait. Are you going to host a regular SFT sometime soon? I feel like blind pick is just kind of easier to manage than an SFT, because SFT you have to declare your faction beforehand, which is really annoying. So I'm probably just gonna stick with this. At least for a little while. I might do some like I kind of want to do some single elimination tournaments. Those ones are real fun. I might even make Friday a single elim. And you know what? Let's do that. I think that would be fun. It's not for everyone, but like single elim best of 3 is just, it makes for some really good matches. blind pick doesn't count for leaderboard wins. No, it does. As far as I'm pretty sure it does. Actually, yeah. No, it does. It does. This was someone asked Turn a while ago. You're a multiplayer noob. Why do you have to wait 30 minutes between each game? Because we're playing an SFT. So, Charx is he's waiting for his next opponent. They should be coming soon. You're at work watching this stream. The worst part about being a streamer is that it's way harder to watch streams while I work. I kind of have to be very present. That'd be great though. I should learn to multitask that. But yeah, I do have a lot of videos I need to make. I think I should probably start editing that Nikari video. Actually, yeah, that one's a pretty fun video. I should do that. Had me in the background a lot. I'm happy to be background noise. That is the niche we go for. Yeah, here we go. Nikari Only War campaign. This one was actually pretty fun. And then that'll get me something to upload. My upload schedule hasn't been as good lately. I gotta pick up the pace on that. Nice. Abdel Razak. Mr. Razak is gonna be facing Charx. I think Razak's been playing Slanesh, so we could very well see a Slanesh versus High Elves. I'd really be down to see a Slanesh versus High Elves. Charx is a menace though. Let's see if he goes for Slanesh though. If he goes for Slanesh, we would get to see water elementals again. Or oceanids. The biggest difficulty with oceanids I found is defending your backline. They're really bad at defending your infantry. So I do wonder. Nice. Looks like it is going to be Slanesh versus High Elves. Ooh, dang. All right. Give it to me. I feel like Charx... Is he going to go for Kite, though? He might not go for Kite. The big question in general, though, is... Because Oceanids cost about the same as 3 Ships Company, will they be as good as 3 Ships Company? If he would have won with 3 Ships Company anyways, it's not really the Oceanids that are winning. So, we'll see. Though, if they're on par with Ships Company, that's not a bad place to be. Hope he goes for another Caradrian build. The Mega Range. Yo, just using his ability... Oh no, not Caradrian. Aislinn. Just using Aislinn's ability to increase fire rate on your archers is not bad. You don't have to be at max range with them. Caradrian build is pretty fun though if you just ignore him, I think it doesn't work. Pretty sure it doesn't work if you just ignore the main. Lore Master Unkillable Box. You know, in Land Battle they actually banned the Lore Master ability, which is crazy. Apparently it's not super common, but every once in a while it can be super annoying to go up against. In domination, though, there's so many ways to peel apart that box. There's no way. He would have to be insane to go for it. Lore Master ability, infantry around him in the 35-meter bubble are unkillable as long as the unit's HP is above 50%. So what you do is you don't move them. The front line goes down to 1 HP, but they can't take damage anymore after they're at 1 HP. So when they get attacked, the unit stops taking damage. And then you kind of just sit there, undying forever. Only works if it's a melee fest. Imagine banning the one thing the Lore Master has going for them. It happens, man. The scene is very ban happy. But it's mostly because CA doesn't really pick up the pace at all. So it's kind of made a culture of the community doing their own thing. You know the Dreadmaw range attack counts as artillery for leadership damage? Is that why the Dreadmaw is so good at routing off units? Yo, that's crazy. Just Dreadmaw. Dreadmaw is just a mega leadership bomb unit then? So if you shoot a unit, you get hit by artillery -10. You unburrow on top of them. So -20 leadership on top of that. Done, man. Then you're done. Honestly, Dreadmaws are crazy. Norska Chaos will be my tournament factions for sure. When we're super tryharding. Does that work on archers? If so, don't high elves win all archer duels? The unkillable is only when you're above 50%. A lot of the times, your unit of archers is going to get really low on HP. Anyways, in an archer duel. So the passive will go away. And also, you have to keep a Lore Master within 35 meters of your archers. That guy costs 1,000 gold, right? So, would you rather have an archer that takes maybe a little bit less damage at the beginning of an archer duel? Or would you rather have 2 more archers? I think that would also win. What if I told you there was an ability that tripled the HP of archers and tripled their damage permanently for the same price as the Lore Master? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Slowest player? I'm not a slow player. I'm definitely slower than Charix and Danican, though. They're too young. My age is hidden. My 30s, I see him coming. Alright, here we go. Razak versus Charix. Slanesh versus High Elves. I think Slanesh is pretty good. You pick the Lore Master. You get stronger the fewer entities there are. Single entities for life. What unit of infantry would be the best if they lost all of their entities and it was just one dude with like 10,000 HP? What would be the best one for that? The problem is the massive DPS loss. But it would be pretty jokes to just have a bear man. You know, just a foot character with 11,000 HP. There's got to be one with a really nice aura though, right? Let's see here. Oh god, a Wrathmonger? One Wrathmonger. Yeah, that'd be hype. At like 1,000,000 HP. Then again, we already kind of have that, and he's not that good, is he? Never mind, never mind. Hammerer before they change the splash damage. Skaven Slave. Oh my god. Okay, if Skaven Slaves could be a single entity, they wouldn't rout because they don't take as much damage. And they would be so annoying. You just send them onto archers and they disrupt their shooting. Oh my goodness. Warp grinder. Ooh, yeah, hell yeah, warp grinder. There you go. That's the best. For sure, for sure. Easily the best. Ooh, other weapon teams. Poison Wind Globadiers. A single entity Globadier insta win. Oh my god. What else is there? Anything else on the Skaven roster? Any other crazy weapon teams that we're missing? Honestly, a Rattling Gunner just for the slow is kind of funny. Though the lack of damage kind of sucks. Also, you think we're gonna see a Praeton here? Yo, we lost to a Praeton and Oceanids today. What a disaster. A single Giselle sharpshooter just to break shields for slingers. It would still cost just as much though. It'd be worse than a full unit of Giselles. Vermintide vibes with a single Globadier. Alright, yo. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? I think Charks is guaranteed to take Oceanids. He was watching the stream earlier when I was doing my own Oceanid run. And I think he wants to one-up me. He has the right to, though. If he can win with Oceanids and show off all the situations where they cook, I'm digging it. But he's playing against Slanesh, which is terrifying. When I was playing Oceanids, the best combo with them seemed to be skirmishers or ranged. To shoot up their ranged. It didn't work versus Chaos Dwarves with their artillery. But yeah, Charks is definitely going for the much more, you know, standard Oceanid play. He's not just starting with 4, or with 3. He brings them in as reinforcements if needed. And he also is not going for the missile resist buff on them. He's not going for that either. Oh boy, he's ready. Yo, can I peek at his build? We'll load in soon. Come on, Razak, do it. Aw, yeah, here we go. Let's see. Slanesh, Azazel. Wow, okay. Sky Cutters. Dang, okay, so this is Sky Cutter Kite. So, kiting Slanesh is a doozy. I think kiting Slanesh is very risky. Now, the Sky Cutters are really good at just poking though. So he has 1, 2, 3 Lothern Sky Cutters. He has 3 Shadow Walkers. This is kind of bonkers. Now, thankfully for him, Slanesh did take a Devotee Crossbow, which is not going to be super useful. No Water Boys. Even against Slanesh, no Water Boys. He might summon them in later, though. Azazel's pretty wild, but okay, I think I see what he's trying to do here. Right? He wants to not get air kited. So, Pavane is good, Acquiescence is good. If you look at the magic here, Shems is quite good versus Azazel. Net of Amantok will help a lot. So we'll see how it goes. This is a really easy play to make. Just get the Shadow Walker, volley off. Kind of premature though, could have waited a hot second. Get a bigger hit on the Hellstriders. But at least you have a proper game going on. Now what Mr. Razak probably wants to do is to capture all these points and then try and rush these guys down. Alternatively, he could try a more weather the storm approach. Could just sit back, relax, and just chill. Avoid damage, drain their ammo. and then win that way. Unspottable though on the Archmage of Light. So he's setting up for Shem's Burning Gaze, which is a common tech against Forsaken and the like. I think he's gonna Shems them very soon. Let's see it. Oh, he's moving them. It's quite good versus armor if you can get it down the pipe, but he hasn't cast it yet. It can be very hit or miss. There he goes. First Shems underway. Targets the Devotees. Oh, big hit. Devotees get annihilated, losing 7 entities. Not a pretty situation for them. The Shems can be quite painful. Looks like she did overcast though. Compared to a burning head, it's not that crazy. But it's very consistent poke. Kite continues. Goes for the Pavane. This is where a big play might be made. Pavane can absolutely kill these guys. There's the Rampage. Now Rampage is only gonna last so long. We got 8 seconds of the Rampage going on. He wants them to land. They do. Boom. Right onto the Hellstriders. Now they're not terrible at fighting Hellstriders, but Azazel's here. He has Furies. And this is a kite build. Charx doesn't have a lot that can actually fight here. Just a bunch of Shadow Warriors that can offer their support. Skycutters have a lot of mass though, so it looks like they will be at least partially escaping. And if they do get out here, that would be very unfortunate. Furies catch some Silver Helms. That's pretty nice for Slaanesh. But they don't really have any captures yet. They're actually behind on tickets. And the Warriors are kind of idling. I don't like that very much. One's going to capture here, so he's not set up for a big fight. But in a long grind, maybe. Brings in the Praeton. The Dread Praeton. Now, if Charx knows what he's doing, he'll just charge the Praeton with the Skycutters, and I'm pretty sure they just kill it. He might not need to, though. Disengaging instead. Oh, Pavane is in. And there he goes. This thing costs 1,650 gold. A pretty penny indeed. Ultra expensive. But it does have missile resist. So resists 65% of the damage from all range sources. But yeah, it dies in melee. It dies in melee. Mr. Razak doing what chat's been asking me to do for ages. Takes the Praeton and then loses it. Man, that's bad. It does have 700 value though, so halfway there is not terrible. That is a double cap on the Slaaneshi side. And you know, it is holding. It's not killing any of the Skycutters though. Rip Praeton, yeah. Oh boy, that's bad. That's a massive loss of value. Uses the damage flex, so he just dies a bit harder. I think he's just gonna get routed off. Is he gonna shoot it? The BM to shoot the Praeton to death? Wow, it just routes. Routes on its own. Always splurge on the ROR. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. Slaanesh is now very behind. It's nice to see some experimentation though. Seekers getting blitzed by those Shadow Walkers. Very painful. And I think Slaanesh just doesn't really have the oomph. These Skycutters are actually super annoying versus Slaanesh. He's going for the landing tech to charge through those Forsaken. Kind of botches it though. If you don't do it just right, they don't go through the Forsaken. And it, yeah, kind of puts him in a bad position. You have to be really on point with that micro. Does catch some Shadow Walkers though, with some Forsaken, I guess. Very nice. And you gotta remember, Slaanesh has a strong late game. Now there is 800 gold doing nothing on the far side of the map. The Praeton is gone. Slaanesh is down bad in terms of value. But here's the thing, the Skycutters can only get so much work done. They're gonna run out of ammo. Their cycle charging isn't the greatest versus cavalry. I think the bigger issue is that I think Charx is actually going to start getting a cavalry lead soon. Unless he starts chucking away dudes to the Forsaken and the Chaos Warriors. Looks like cavalry lead is a go. Praeton's gone. He still has 2 units of infantry. But Slaanesh does have that triple cap coming. I see a non-zero chance where Slaanesh manages to win off of just capturing the points. But we're going to need some big misplays here for that to actually happen. Charx is going to need to, you know, he has all the time in the world to uptrade. He would need to accidentally throw away a lot of his cavalry. Sends them in on the devotees of Slaanesh. Charge bonus is going to help them out a lot. Shems misses Azazel. He's fast enough for that. And if the devotees stay in here long enough, they might actually kill the Silver Helms. The stat difference is just so high. But if Charg cycle charges, they're just dead. Chaos Knights. Oh, there's Chaos Knights? Wow, Chaos Knight Lances. Okay. That's actually pretty crazy. Azazel on the run, by the way. Sweet sorrow for the speed boost. But these guys get speed boost just by charging. Oh, that's hilarious. Look at them. Look at them running after Azazel. Shooting their shots. He's taking some damage. Devotees are routed. Middle point is resecured. But there are Chaos Knights, and there's very little to actually deal with them. Except for maybe a Net of Amatoch. Net of Amatoch and a Reaver charge is not the worst. Shems. Ooh. Partial hit on Azazel. He's really suffering. Praeton comes back with the steel chair. 0 kills, 1,000 value. I guess it did technically get some value by hitting these guys. But the loss of Azazel is going to be very painful. Here's the thing though. Slaanesh has a mean late game. They have a very mean late game. High potential to still come back here. Praeton lands another hit. You know what? Not useless. 100 and 1,100 gold value. That's something. Rampage is 1 Skycutter to the ground. No D-summon going on over there. Chaos Knight Lance is actually cooking the Silver Helms. They have Strider. So they're not being debuffed in the forest either. And they're doing not bad. Yeah, they can grind against Silver Helms all day. They don't care. In the meantime, Hellstriders got the Skycutters bogged down. These guys are running out of ammo. Slaanesh might win this. It's going to be hard fought, though. They're going to want to capture here to win. At least these Chaos Warriors. Slight misplay from Charix. These Rangers will never throw off the Chaos Warriors. He'll need to summon a bit more capture weight for that to happen. And this point ain't going down. Now, he might de-summon the Shadow Walkers. He might keep them around for capture weight. Using them to steal this point's not a terrible idea, but with Hellstriders nearby, it's a little sus. Azazel's just Chad, too. 450 HP and chillin'. Archmage is on the hunt. Azazel's definitely going to die soon, and that's going to be quite impactful. But look at that. Chaos Knights, they really don't care. That armor's cooking super hard. Silver Helms and Reavers just dying to the might of the Slaaneshi cavalry. And over on the far side, the Warriors, they're going to get in a good fight. I don't know. This is kind of sus. Azazel needs to hide, though. One more Shems and he's dead. Gives him a move command. I'd say that's a slight misplay. Wow, those Chaos Knights, they did so much, though. They did so much. I don't think he was ready for the armor. Azazel's hiding in the trees again, too. And we got Slongors to clean up, but we got some cavalry. Silver Helms and Silver Helms. Slongors are going to have a really rough time there. They will stall the point, though. Chaos Warriors are also good, and there's a Hellstrider summon to defend these guys. They're going to be a bit slow, so it's going to be rough. In the middle, the Chariots are dead. Chaos Knights are cooking, still at half HP, and on the far side, point is taken. Now, will Azazel die to the bird? Yes, absolutely. Stealth bird got him. That's going to be real rough for the Slongors. If they rout off, that'd be terrible. -1 leadership. Looks like they're gone. No, 7. Doesn't matter. Just enough to get them to rout off. Huge. And it looks like the High Elves will be securing a double cap versus Slaanesh. The loss of Azazel definitely going to be hurting Slaanesh a lot here. But they still have teeth. Will that go away, though, with the Shems? Oh, absolutely. Money Shems on the Chaos Warriors. That's what you need. Shems for the armor piercing. Fun strategy, though. They do barely stabilize. Slaanesh does have 1,000 in the bank. Maybe we see another Chaos Knight. They're going to need to make a play, though. Mayhaps it'll be over here, as there's not a lot. Just a Storm Rider. If Slaanesh really hammers this location, they have a lot of potential to get a bunch of pickings. In the meantime, the Warriors grind decently over on this side. And they are ahead on tickets. They have time. The Charks forget to bring armor counters. He might have Sea Elementals. He might have Oceanids in reserve. Honestly, Oceanids would not be the worst call-in right now, because the Silver Helms just don't really cook versus this stuff. Furies are coming on in. I would say Razak is still behind, but they've been slowly clawing their way back. Good charge on the Reavers. Furies don't take that impact hit. Big charge from the Slongors. Not a lot of armor on these guys. Slongors had 46 charge bonus. Oh my god. Holy crap, Slongors are insane. Are you kidding me? They just took 2/3 HP off the charge. With the charge. That's insane. What a charge. 44 charge bonus. Pleasure through pain. They get more damage. More stats the lower HP they are. And they may even win that grind. Now the Shem's going to be trying to help out. If some of these units start to rout, it's going to stabilize the leadership of the other guys. It looks like the High Elves are barely going to hold that. Slaanesh just not having enough oomph. Dang, those Slongors, though. 1,100 value. That's crazy. What an absolute crazy unit. Definitely, you got to be really careful with them. But in the right situation, man, it's good. Middle point looks like it's going to be lost, though. And I think Charix is just going to come out on top. Very close game. Very close game. I think his Chariot play, they kind of got mucked up. I think if Slaanesh literally just didn't bring the Praeton, they would have been much better off. Though it did help wear down the Chariots a little bit. We got more Slongors in here. Yo, this one's cooking hard, man. +8 melee attack. They're chilling. Oh my god. These Rangers... they might even die. I do think Slaanesh is still in trouble, though, unless they secure this point. But they're just going to keep trading, right? High Elves just have to trade evenly, and they're good. So they just keep sending Cav into the Slaaneshi Cav. It ain't too bad. Furies will crumble away, too. Furies are not really a good unit for up trading. Furies are really good for trading an equal amount to the summon, right? You bring them in, they pay for themselves, and that's it. But that's not what Slaanesh needs right now. They need more. He's just going to be trading one Hellstrider and a Fury for a Shadow Walker and a Silver Helm. Nothing too crazy. Trades a Fury for another Illyrian Reaver. That's not enough. Not enough, man. High Elves have all the capture points. I think Charix is going to win. Is he going to summon an Oceanid, though? I feel like an Oceanid would have actually been kind of clutch here. Yeah, Slongors are straight up shot cav once they get low on HP. 51 speed, literally light cavalry. But no Azazel's just a little bit too much, right? A little bit of a tussle here, yeah. It's a little too much. The High Elves have the triple cap, and that's gonna be it. Yeah, Skycutters, I think the Skycutters were really annoying here. I think the only way to win would be to just get that quick triple cap and just hope that their range shots don't do too much damage. Like having the armor and the Forsaken is good. Just force them to land. Or you don't even have to force them to land, though Pavane is quite nice. I guess you can Pavane them down and then you're good. Sigvald would have carried. Sigvald wouldn't have captured points. Though he wouldn't have died. It's better than what Azazel did. Azazel did not do much. Devotees did not do much. The Skycutters actually didn't fully pay for themselves. So, technically, if he just didn't bring the Praeton, just don't bring the Praeton. Get a better Lord. Then you're pretty good after that point. The Slongors are actually so cool versus High Elves. I think I'll be taking Slongors in reserve anytime there's an opportunity for them to jump some lightly armored units. But yeah, Charix, he's good. Who would have guessed? Gets the win. That's going to be GG, and that's going to be it for me today, as I need to get some food. Hope you guys enjoyed the games, though. It was definitely a fun time. I'll see you guys later on Friday, because Thursday I'm gonna take a day off. So peace, and see you then.